Eureka.
We make plays every day, yeah. 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 We make plays every day, yeah.
What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you, bringing you another episode of the Real Fantasy Playmakers. And oh yeah, 2021 recap. Let's bring the whole crew out here, starting off with our man, the Fantasy Peacock.
What is up, everybody? Hey, we are streaming right now on Peacock, if you want to put it that way. You know, we got all the current hits. We got the timeless classics. We got thousands or hundreds of hours up here on the Fantasy Playmakers, full of all the goodies, talking about all your fantasy goodness. So make sure that you keep it locked up. And you could probably, hit the subscribe button and upgrade your streaming service only on Peacock.
Yeah. And how about our man? He is repping a whole nation of gurus, Spencer the Guru.
Woo! Guru Nation, what's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all having me once again back on the Playmakers. Recap this wild 2021. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, and you'll notice Bogard Scott Free is not in the building, but the champ is in the building. Luigi is in the house.
Hey, Hollywood Luigi in the building.
Yo.
Hybrid. What?
Oh, no,
You are Luigi.
Put the
He
strap
is
down.
Luigi. The earth is his turf.
Putting Hollywood Bo Hogan right on the spot with the what's nice and early.
My man, did I miss the what's?
Oh man.
I love the
Discount double
what's.
check.
Bruh, I'm the motherfucking champ, bruh. 5 times.
Okay, no, I didn't break out my trophy. I went back to back, so I get to keep the trophy in my home league. So I have to
There you
break that out
go.
a little later.
Yeah.
I already paid everybody out in my home league, so I'm wearing the shades of shame so you don't see my tears or the bags under my eyes from the sleepless nights I've had since I figured out that I was not going to win a trophy this year.
Yeah, you had that cursed semifinals week.
Yeah, plenty of third place trophies that I don't even care about or want to brag about right now. But yeah, plenty of those. Too many to count.
In Gaylord Fucker's household, they award all participations.
Yeah,
Participation trophies are real.
My brother-in-law's like, it's either first place or you're last, and then he ended up actually getting like last in the toilet bowl. So I'm gonna come up with a screenshot of what he put in the text and put a whole picture of his face in there real nice somehow and tie it all back. And it's like, remember when you said that? I was like, you took it to heart, man. You went last.
Yeah.
You went full last.
And Niner MMA in the building. What up? He said that Cosby Watson.
Oh. You're welcome. I threw that in there because it was part of this year. Unfortunately, you think all the way back. It was part of this season.
Yeah. Him and Pervin Meyer. What a great duo.
Pervin Meyer.
Yeah,
Pervin Minor.
Yeah, put him up in the graphics. You could cap 2021 with start it with Deshaun and you end it with Urban.
And Pinto in the building, shouting out Peacock.
Hey, my man.
What up,
Chris.
Pinto?
Did you end up
Pinto hit me today, man, out of nowhere, man. It was great to hear from him, bro. He was actually going to be a surprise guest if he could make it. I shot him the link just in case.
I was going to say, not going to lie, I was in a league with Pinto. I think I got 3rd or 4th, and he was in the championship. So I don't know. I don't know if he got it. I didn't even check. Sorry.
Would you believe Pinto showed up to remind you got another 3rd? He's like,
yeah, I know, right?
Damn it, Pinto.
He's like, that league we're in, like, you got 3rd again.
Yeah.
It was the worst. It was the best of times, but the worst of times this year. And I'm going to blame it all on what I'm taking away from this year. And I'm just going to tell you guys right out in the front of the show. Week 16 sucked. And that's why I was playing for so many third place games.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
Man,
Yeah,
Austin Eckler, man.
I was in
Austin
14.
Eckler, Travis Kelce.
During week
a lot
15,
of dud performances.
15 and 16, like it cut my fourth. I had 14 teams in it, and then it cut it down to 6. You know what I mean? I had 5 to go all the way, and then you know what I mean. We hit him with the clean sweep. You know what I mean? And I feel really good about it because I had this shitty year last year, where like I was just like, I was hell bent on like just redeeming my last year. You know what I mean?
I had a great year last year. I'm not going to complain about.
Yeah, I remember you got it 100% in your playoffs. I think you were in like
I was
in hella leagues.
I think I was like in 10 out of 10 or no wait, I'm sorry, 13 out of 14 or 14 out of 15, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I came home with 3 first place trophies and like a whole bunch of second place, which sucked also. But I was mad about that. But 3 trophies is really good though.
Yeah, I got 3 last year too.
Speaking of the good and the bad in fantasy, that's what this show tonight's about. Welcome again to the Real Fantasy Playmakers. We are your hosts for tonight. You know what I'm saying? My man, the most notorious man in the fantasy industry, my man, the hustler, got the Guru Nation in representation, and got my man Neon Peacock. And of course, I am Hollywood Luigi. And this is what we're going to do here, brother. We're talking about some 2021 recaps on the players we hit on, the players we missed on. You know what I'm saying? Some underachievers, some overachievers. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna shoot the shit a little bit of 2022. And for everybody that's still in it, and you have a championship this weekend, next year make sure you play in leagues that don't play up to week 18, right? And also good luck. You know what I mean? We are here for you every day for FNT Fantasy News today. That goes down every day, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard. And as far as tonight goes, man, it was real fitting, man, because this group right here, the 4 of us, you know what I mean, we've been rocking going all the way back to June, man, when we started this Playmaker show again. And you know what I mean, like we had a lot of insight on a lot of whether it was rankings or it was bold predictions, breakouts, busts. We had a ton of them. So this is kind of in a nutshell. We get to take our victory laps and take our what's the opposite of that? Shitty lap.
Walk of shame.
Walk of shames.
Walk of shame, man. It is. Look at that. I didn't even know
taking a lot of those. I
didn't know there was the polar opposite. Victory lap. There was actually walk of shame. Look at that. Universe gave me money. All right, but and for those y'all, just to finish up what I was saying, for those y'all that didn't win a championship, or you're a true degenerate and you still want to squeeze juices out of fantasy, we want to tell you about our proud sponsors, Super Draft Pro. Hustle, let them know.
Oh, yeah. Every day we are playing games. So today it's basketball. Tomorrow it's actually PGA. So it's going to be pretty wide open because I don't know too many people who know how these golfers are going to play out. Saturday, Sunday, we got NFL slates every single day we're playing. You can get on a $20 plan, a $50 plan, or a $100 plan. I recommend the $100. $3 a day that you're playing, and you're going to be in at least 3 contests per day. It is awesome. The first month I played, I won over $200. I mean, shit, Bogey won like 100 and something just in a weekend a couple weeks back. And so,
I won 100 in a day, like 3 or 4 days or last week.
It was the last 3 weeks I won $200.
I'm winning $1.50 right now.
Yeah.
Nice. I think I won $1 on Monday night because it was like everybody had the same lineups.
Yeah, I'm 17th out of 394, but if that jumps up, it could go all the way to 50 in this particular contest. So
nice.
I'm winning 850 as of now. We'll see how that actually plays out. But I was listening to JC Money's show that he has every single day around 6 Eastern time, right before all the basketball games start. And he gave us a lineup. I took it, I'm playing it, and I'm winning as of right now.
That's what's
Oh,
up,
yeah.
man. I was on mushrooms earlier, so I just didn't put a lineup in. I'm mad at myself right now.
My basketball
I'm
lineup.
watching the
Luigi.
Jason Money show. I
Luigi
could have
took over a little bit.
took the names down and punched them in one time.
I got like Beal, Ball, Tatum, Bridges, Harris, Embiid. A couple of guys out there right now. So 17 out of 394. Not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everyone, pretty much everyone on here has a link. I'm putting our link. I'm putting my link in YouTube right now. I'm throwing Bogard's in the GMM Network YouTube right now, and go sign up. Just go get signed up today. And Peacock.
Mine is just /FF Peacock. All together, no underscore or anything like that. FF Peacock after that. So do that. I've been trying to, get my friends onto it, and they're like, they saw that I won $100 the other day in one contest, and they're like, interesting. So
yeah,
I got
you know what?
and
Here's the thing. Here's the kicker: is that like for those of y'all that's in a state that doesn't allow daily fantasy sports, this is how you get on because it's subscription based. That's their way around it. Caesars Entertainment backs it, so it's legit. You know what I mean? And man, just get it. You squeeze the juices, bro. Like I'm telling you, like we're caking up over here, and it's fun. Like you can't show me one. You show me one person who's winning money and not having fun, and I will show you a liar.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh man, and Zach said I forgot about the NBA tonight. I'm getting ready to go to Canada for ice fishing. Oh man,
let's go.
Don't freeze your ass off.
The only thing I know about ice fishing comes from Harold and Kumar. The whatever Escape from Guantanamo Bay. It's like, have you ever been ice fishing? It's fucking exhilarating.
I mean, the fact that you could like die because the ice could crack, right? Like that's what would be fucking me up.
That's gotta be the reason.
If a motherfucker sneezed, I'd be like you know what I mean? Like that shit is like, you know what I mean? And I would imagine too, like, I mean, you're just sitting there getting fucked up anyway, right?
I mean, every type of fishing, I think that's like, a prerequisite.
I never catch
That's the only
fish.
thing I catch.
I've never caught fish. I ain't gonna lie.
You've went fishing a lot, just never caught fish.
Nah, never. Crabbing, yeah.
By complete accident, I've caught fish.
I ain't catching no fish, bro, because the motherfuckers be telling me to shut up. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro.
I can see how that could be a problem.
Like, fish got ears.
No, I can tell you.
That's like for hunting. Like if for hunting, you can't say
fish
shit.
got
Like
ears.
No,
they kind of do. Like you could, they kind of do.
I mean, think about this: if you're walking in the forest and you're hunting deer, right? When you're
the vibrations of your stupid ass.
Yeah, when you're stepping with our man-made shoes, not some, all natural. Like I bet you if a motherfucker goes out there barefoot, he had more chance because a motherfucker's gonna hear that little twig step.
Yeah, that's why they got deer stands. The motherfuckers go up in the trees in the deer stand. That's how they do it.
Up in the blinds.
One time I was in Mississippi, I was lost in the forest
for duck hunting. Yep.
I was lost in the forest one time in Mississippi. I'm pretty sure I was on mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? And I was actually in my man cave, not even in Mississippi. But anyways, I was in Mississippi in the forest. And I looked up and it was Brett Favre in the motherfucking the goddamn deer, the little deer thing. You know what's that shit called? You just said
deer stand. Yeah,
the deer stand. Man. It was Favre.
Oh, yeah, they said when Aaron Rodgers was on the Manning cast too, they were like, "Hey, you got quite the book collection there, huh?" And then Peyton was like, "When we had Brett Favre on, all he had was a deer head and this a deer head."
Well, you don't got to know how to read to shoot a deer. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Hey, Brett Favre is infamous. He would pop Vicodins and drink beer all night, and tell his wife he's quote unquote watching film in the basement, right? And he'll get up in the morning, go to the game and shred. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Pre-game. That's the best pre-game ever.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy how him and Rodgers are like polar opposites, yet they both shred.
He's doing Rodgers is doing yoga and shit like that, and like
right.
And then you show Brett Favre, he's in there.
He's all fucked up. Yeah,
Brett Favre's waking up like Jim Morrison and shit, like grabbing a beer from the fridge for breakfast.
Yeah, no wonder they didn't like each other. They're freaking opposites.
Wearing Wranglers.
Yeah, they weren't. They couldn't kick it off.
No, yeah, they've got a mutual respect for each other now. But yeah, when they were teammates, like they didn't like each other.
Respect as in like hatred.
Yeah, I guess like acknowledging their greatness, but yeah, I don't think
Like,
you're gonna catch them
and
hanging out
when he broke,
as
when he
boys, just
broke
because
his
they're just their
record.
total opposites. Like it's
bro, when he broke his record, and then they show Favre on the screen, and he's like, "Yeah, congrats, Aaron. But just do me one more favor."
He said "fuck you" under his breath, right?
Yeah, but he said, I mean, if you read his eyebrows were real like "fuck you." But
They're
like,
like
yeah, oh
ang-
yeah,
they're like the angry
Favre's
ones,
easy
right?
to
they're like,
read. Yeah,
real stern.
They
Oh,
made
yeah,
me
yeah.
see this.
He said, "Do one more favor for me and go win another Super Bowl for Green Bay." And it's like, listen, bro, do it for you, motherfucker. I'm trying to do it for me, motherfucker.
Now he's gonna take credit.
Yeah, he's like, "Do me a favor." Yeah, I told him to do
I
it.
won this one for Brett when he
Fuck up.
holds up the trophy. This one's for
He's
you,
like,
Brett.
he beat the shit out of his record. And when I say beat the
This
shit
one's
out
for
of it,
Brett
because
Favre.
he had like 100 less picks for real.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah. So
insane.
much more efficient.
Hasn't he done it in a lot less games too?
Yeah. Like seven, like fucking, I don't know the number. I was gonna ballpark. I was say
I'm
68.
gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So why you
And real quick, shout out to Kim. She said, "Hell yeah, getting fucked up on some ice cold beer," and said that she shot a deer in the ass.
There you go.
Whoops.
I mean,
I don't think that's where
shit,
you're
that's
Yeah.
a
saying.
kill
That's how we
shot.
do it
That's a
down
kill
south.
shot right there.
Is that a kill shot? I'm not too sure.
I don't know. What if he got it right in the rectum though? It went right to the gut tree.
Oh yeah, that's a kill
Organs.
shot. That's a fucking.
That's
kill
a
shot.
bullseye.
From that
Oh yeah,
angle.
that is, yeah.
That's like hitting the deer in the eye, in the eyeball. You know what I mean? Like fucking, I'm gonna fill it with one of them glass things anyway.
That's the
Right.
fourth.
And
eye or
then if
something.
you shoot it there,
I
it
bet-
can't even shit itself because it just did block.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because they do shit themselves.
A lot of times, yeah, they say like I don't, and it's like
I mean,
I don't know
people
this
do.
for
You shoot
sure,
it.
but like
I mean,
I don't
I'm-
think you want them to. Like it's I don't know. I'm not a big hunter, but from what
I'm
I've
not
heard,
gonna
it's like-
encourage anyone to go and shoot anyone, right? But like,
Especially through
and
the
people, people shit themselves too when they get popped.
Yeah, with freaking I say with deer hunting, there's a certain time you want to kill them like peacefully because if they go out like if they die a violent death, the meat's gonna taste more gamey. It's not gonna
Right.
taste
Well,
as
because
good. If they-
it's something about releasing the what's that shit called? The
Chemical.
adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Endorphins.
Yeah.
Something
If
about,
it's
like, the
if that
maximum
don't go
release of
right,
adrenaline.
then you think you just got you a deer, which you did, but I mean you're not gonna get good meat off of it.
Yeah,
Hey
you
y'all,
gotta
listen,
buck hunter
Spencer,
that
you're-
thing right in the heart.
Hey Spencer, you were definitely too young for this, but it was called "Are You Afraid of the Dark?" Right? And they had this episode. It was about a restaurant, and then like people will go in there, and then you sit down in the chair, and like they show you like your biggest fears, and then like there's a machine that you're hooked up to, and then this soup just comes out, and it's the most delicious soup, and it's hella expensive, and people are lining up around the building to get this soup, and like, but you know what I'm saying, they don't know that it's like because it's coming from like people's fears or something. I don't know. It's, I
Like
might be butchering it, but
Sweeney Todd shit, kind of.
Sweeney Todd was fucking hard.
Meat pies.
Meat, Mrs. Love, it's meat pies. Hey, listen, a musical and it's bloody as all hell. He was on there gassing. First of all, hold on. Shout out to Johnny Depp. We're gonna go off the rails, the true Luigi fashion, real quick. He's on there gassing. He said, there's a hole in the world like a big black pit, and it's filled with people, filled with shit and evil in the world inhabited, and it goes by the name of London.
I forgot about that.
Bars.
I want to watch that.
It's
I wanna
so
watch that
good.
now.
It's so good.
It's been a while since I've seen it. It's been.
I mean,
I saw it in theaters.
I'm a sound engineer, producer. That's where I come from. I have an
Yeah.
appreciation for all types of shit like that. Like this shit was so hard. Like I gave it a chance. I never even saw it in the theater. This is back in DVD times, right?
Yeah,
And I just
sure.
had my first daughter. And so we're in Target. This was when I realized, like, okay, Target's where I'm going to be like every other day.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I was there
So
all the
I'm
time.
just like
picking up
in Target every other day. I'm buying
DVDs.
DVDs all day. And like Sweeney Todd came out, and I love Johnny Depp, and I was like buying that shit. My girl's like, I heard it's a musical. I'm like, I know, it's got to be good. It's Johnny Depp, and it's fucking Tim Burton. You know
Tim
what I
Burton
mean?
was-
You
Tim
can't
Burton
go
sold it.
wrong.
That's right.
Fucking awesome. Anyways, okay, let's rapid fire real quick.
Y'all heard the latest AP news?
Meat pie.
What happened? He's playing, right?
Well, he's claiming that the Bucks forced him to play through the ankle injury.
Right. I saw that.
Man,
They
you
threw
know
on
what's
my phone.
crazy, bro? And I bet you Tom Brady, he texted him on the side. He said, "Look, man, shut the fuck up, dog. Shut the fuck up.
You're gonna come back for the Super Bowl.
We're here to get championships, not to get attention from otherwise. Shut the fuck up."
It's like every game counts.
Did you eat the avocados I gave you?
They were just using them as a decoy, pretty
Stay away
much.
from the tomatoes.
Yeah. I mean, he just came off a game where he went for like 10 for like $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did he do the week before? 11 something? 11.
Yeah, he put up a huge game. Yeah, over 100 yards on 11.
Yeah, over 100,
Yeah.
11 receptions. I think he had a tug. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
he was
so-
great. Yeah, and then I think he re-injured the ankle, but it's just so many different sides of the story. It's crazy.
He's like, "Did you
Arians.
rub the avocados on it like I told you." He's
Nice.
It's such a mess.
JC Money, you're gonna do some golf stuff for tomorrow. All the stuff starts at 11. West
the
Coast.
tee times.
West
The
Coast
tee
time.
times are early.
yeah.
I must be
Hey.
asleep.
JC Money, hop on too, man. If you ain't doing that, man, come rock with us.
Yeah, I had to take a pit stop in
All right.
30 minutes and drop off some stuff that my daughter. That's what she asked for yesterday. Go bigger.
Oh,
We want to start with the QBs.
Let's go. Let's start
What-
with the QBs.
With what? Maybe some
Let's go
overachievers.
with some overachievers first. Let's go let's go with the good news first. You know what they say? Give me the good. What do you want first? Good news or bad news? Let's
I got to go Brady first, finishing as the QB3. I mean, he maybe had some off games in the end, but I mean, he was being drafted after QB10 for sure. Like, I mean, I got him in so many places as the 12th QB off the board.
Brady, he was the value for sure. You know what I mean? I mean, what did he throw for over 4,000?
Let me go see the.
Oh yeah,
exact-
well, almost that. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, I should have said more like I know he's close to like 400. What is it? 4,400 right now.
He's about to cross 5,000. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
got-
he's close to 5,000.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
close to 5,000.
he's 10
Yeah,
yards
he's gonna
away
get
from.
5. Yeah, he's gonna
He's
get
10
5.
yards away.
I think
Oh
this
yeah,
is
he's
only
gonna
the-
get.
I get on one
5.
play.
It'll only be the second time in his career he's done this too. If I
And
remember correctly.
40.
Good receivers, good receiving core, Gronk. You know, for the most part, a lot of these guys have been in and out.
I think he had the most rushing yards in the season too.
40 touchdowns through the air, only 12 interceptions. Yeah, 81 yards. So now second most for his career, had 2
Okay.
touchdowns.
And check this out, bruh. He was the super value, and I don't know why anyone couldn't do the fantasy math. Look at he literally went 40 tugs 2 years in a row with the Bucks now, right? And like you have all these weapons, bro. Do the math. You know what I mean? Look what he used to do with like less to nothing in a more conservative offense. Now he's with Uncle Bruce.
He's thrown 300 more yards in the same amount of time because this is about to be the extra game.
That's true.
But
Avocados are fucking amazing, bro.
mhm.
They really are. I mean,
Guacamole,
this motherfucker.
all the
sold
shit,
for
bro.
5,000 at 44. It's got to be the avocados. What else can explain it? Except the
And the
avocados.
second-
It is my Saints,
If you
man.
look
Shout out to my
closely-
Saints. The avocados. They can't get him to beat my Saints.
I mean, they got
Yeah,
listen,
Kryptonite.
in Louisiana, there's a voodoo curse on avocados.
Oh yeah, yep. We don't. Oh, avocado. Y'all can't fuck with us.
I got an overachiever. It's someone. See, what's funny too is because I had this guy as my 6th ranked QB on the year. I mean, going into the season, but Joe Burrow, because he was lower on a lot of people's shit, and then maybe people were basing it on the fact that he was coming off the ACL. I before I seen that defense look really good, I thought the defense was going to be really trash, and I thought he was a shoo-in for like 4,500 yards passing at minimum. You know what I mean? And we're talking about over maybe hovering around 35 tugs. Where did he finish right now? Or where's he
Ooh,
standing?
Joe Burrow.
QB6. QB6, right?
QB6,
You
look at
pegged it
that.
right on the money.
Look
Take
at
your
that.
victory lap. Take your victory lap.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Because I saw him. I mean, there were some of these dynasty leagues that we were doing. He was going in the 3rd round. You know, I mean, I got him in the 3rd round in one of them.
You know what's crazy? I pulled him up in the 1st round. I was on yeah.
Antonio did too, and we were like,
Superflex-
"Oh shit!" Oh,
Superflex,
shit.
though. Just
Oh,
to
yeah,
reference.
Yeah. Antonio
Oh,
did
yeah.
too. He's like, "Oh, I'm going bold with this one because I think he took him maybe like the 6th QB overall, 7th
Birthday
maybe."
twin right there.
You guys were
I
on it.
remember somebody was on me in the chat. They were like, Trevor Lawrence was there. Ha ha, I'll take him. And I'm like, Have fun with your Trevor Lawrence, bro. I'm fucking with Mighty Joe Young. I loved what we saw out of Joe Burrow, and like he was a guy coming out of college. And he was one of them super seniors, right? So like, you know, what I mean, he had played a good amount of football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like
him and Herbert,
if he would and LSU.
If he wouldn't have got hurt, we could have seen like the two best rookie performances ever in a year last year. I mean, they were on pace to both go over, you know, the touchdown record,
right? And then like, what did he? Where's my man Mighty Joe Young at right now with the tugs and the yards?
Let's see, he is at
and off
4,600, 4,611, 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 118 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns.
You said how many yards passing?
4,611.
Okay, see, so I had him hovering around 4,500 yards passing, and I had him hovering around 35 passing tugs. You know
70% completion percentage.
Man, he's the number one rated. He's the number one rated QB according to PFF. When and I noticed this about a month ago, and I've been checking every week. He's still there. You know what I mean?
Like Drew Brees numbers. That's like Drew Brees in his prime.
Listen, they're like
putting up the
Chiefs.
yards and putting up the completion percentage.
They remind me of 2018 Chiefs, and I'm saying this because, like, granted, he had Kelsey, Hill, and then the third to me really was Kareem Hunt that year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, but Burrow got more weapons than that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, he's got three strong receivers and Sergio Mix-a-Lot.
Exactly. And he likes touchdowns and he cannot lie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so does Jamal Chase. My God.
Fuck yeah.
3 touchdowns.
To connect him with his homie, bro, like, yeah.
Oh, that was the move. Yeah. Shout out to that whole deal. Shout out to the Bengals for not giving into the pressure of the mass media. Saying, "Oh, they've got to take Penei Sewell. They've got to take him. They've got to take him. They
got to run the ball. He's coming off the ACL."
Right? Yeah. Come on. Oh, yeah. Bullshit, man.
You know what I said? I said we're finna see him in the shotgun all day. Fuck, he's going for 4,500 plus.
Exactly. What ACL? I mean, he's young. I mean, he heals quick, man. What ACL? What ACL? Yeah, Burrow that dude, he's a stone cold stunner, man. They're not many built like him. It's just built different. You know, there's so many, like, not many could have come back from that as quick as he did. It just didn't even phase him.
And last year's completion percentage was 65%.
So he improved. Look at that. When you gave him your boy, right? Like, oh, he's like, yeah, go get my boy. Boom, here's your boy. He has his boy. He had 20 tugs with that motherfucker back in that last year, that championship run at LSU.
Yeah,
right.
Him and Justin Jefferson and T. Higgins basically.
How many did Jamar Chase have this year?
Touchdowns?
Like 13, I think.
It's not bad.
Let's see.
Yeah, he had a lot.
Because the way he's dogging fools, bro,
13.
He's dogging fools, bro. Jamar, like, it was crazy.
Yeah, like he's second. He's second to Cooper Kupp.
They got a big success rate against man coverage, zone, everything. They're lightweight, unstoppable. It's really on Joe Burrow if he goes out there and has an off game, because we've seen him have a couple, games where he's like, "Yo, what the hell?" Like the game
against your Niners, he kind of struggled.
Yeah, he came out there and was just like, there was a touchdown that had a flag on it for Jamar Chase, so that could have really swung the game. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying, yeah, that was like really off. I mean, it took us overtime to beat them. So you know what I mean? Like, I guess it could have won.
Yeah, he's still, even when he's not playing, he's a competitor. Yeah. And I got another overachiever for y'all at quarterback. He was a guy that the house was divided on him in the offseason. Some were saying he was going to do really well, and others were saying he's going to suck so bad he won't even keep the job. But he kept the job and then some, and that's Jalen Hurts, man.
That's mine.
Yeah. Hey, I had him at 8 overall. I overall in my ranking.
He was an underachiever for you then.
Yeah, and
I think he's
he got QB.
He finished higher than that.
How about this though?
But he was QB like 2-3 for most of the,
in a 6-point TD.
yeah, but he was
in a
QB
4-point, he probably finished
2-3
higher.
for most of the season.
Yeah,
like when
yeah,
it
he
was
was, yeah,
really
QB.
counting.
Yeah. It was him and Brady like the first I remember we were doing Playmakers probably like week 5 or 6. It was like maybe or even like before Halloween.
It was the best because I did a live draft, and when I drafted Jalen Hurts, I remember one of the guys looking at me and be like, "I don't know about that pick." Like it's burned in my head. Like, and he pointed at it with his pen on the thing, and Jalen Hurts was spanking all year long, dude. I just laughed. I played Jalen Hurts against him and whooped his ass.
There was a lot of people. Here was my thing.
And I also had Brady in that league. I had them both.
I like the talent. We already seen him have big games last year, right? He had like 2 nice games out of the 4 starts he had, and I mean, like beating the Saints when they were like one of the best run defenses that at the time.
Destroyed us, man.
Destroyed us.
And
so there was some flashes there, inconsistency, obviously, right? Then you come into this year, and everybody was like torn on him. The way I looked at it is they had Nick Sirianni going, or that's his name. Yeah, they had Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, he had a new coach. Yeah,
he was the OC for Indy, with Frank Reich for all those years, and they had Jacoby Brissett, who isn't. I mean, there's the reason I point him out is because there was a playbook over there for a mobile QB. You know what I mean? And like here's Jalen Hurts, who has arm talent. You know what I mean? And he can get mobile, and like it was just easy fantasy math for me. You know what I'm saying? A team. I didn't think their defense would be that good, so I also pegged him for being a guy that could be easily like 600 pass attempts. Like I had him pegged as that guy. You know what I mean? But the rushing too, like I had him about 700 yards rushing. Where's he at?
Oh, he was the leader in rushing among quarterbacks. I believe he had 784 rushing.
There it is. Yeah. So I had him at around 700 yards rushing,
10 touchdowns.
Yep.
Hey, he's almost had more rushing than passing because he only had 16 passing to 9 interceptions.
This is a good regime that's there too because they're from a winning pedigree. Like Nick Sirianni, he came from the Frank Reich, Doug Peterson / fucking and Andy Reid. Like that's his lineage. So being back in Philly's kind of like fitting too. You know what I mean? And like next year, they're in the playoffs already, bro. Like,
they're gonna make the playoffs. Yep.
He's probably coach of the year. Yeah,
possibly. Yeah, considering how much of a disaster last year was, he should be in the running.
They were shit last year.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, especially with Carson Wentz, like they would just. And then at the big debacle at the end of last year, where they sat Jalen Hurts for freaking Nate Sudfeld, get Nate some snaps. That was Doug Peterson's quote.
You know what's crazy?
They got rid of his ass and Carson.
Ultimately, them doing that, right? That it got them a high enough pick. Then they packaged that up and traded back with the Dolphins.
Yeah, and they still got Devontae Smith.
And they still got their man. Yeah. So that's a win. They're stacked up right now. They got hella picks, bro. They had like 3 first-round picks next year.
Yep, and they traded Ertz. That was a good trade Eagles. For them. They didn't need Ertz. Oh, yeah. They got that.
The Texans need to trade with him.
Yeah, the Texans. But see, now that Jalen Hurts
Eagles need another receiver, man. Outside of Smith, they ain't got much.
I mean, well, now that they have
this draft sucks, man.
Listen, they got draft capital, bro.
Right. They'll be able to
they got cap space, and the cap's going up. They can make a move for like a Michael Thomas. They can make a
Brandon Cooks.
Maybe sign a Chris Godwin off the ACL.
Yeah, Brandon, because they need a deep guy. Like a deep guy would be better. I was like, Devontae Smith for the intermediate guy.
What do you think Brandon Cooks
Devontae Smith, he has burners though too. He could be that guy too. That's the thing. Like, and I don't think Devontae playing extra seat. Like, Devontae's gonna take a hit one day and he's out, bro. Like he's like Brandon Cooks.
That's anybody in the
small
NFL.
Guys, but Devontae Smith is the Slim Reaper. Like he's literally
he's literally smaller than I am. I think. Not gonna lie about that.
Like you gotta depend on. Like look at Tyreek Hill. He's
like Tyreek and I are the same, but he's built kind of solid. Yeah,
he's like we're about the same. Like Steve Smith Sr. Like how Steve Smith Sr. was kind of like.
Hey, but if you look at the Archer Brandon Cooks, he's pretty solid too. It's just he has a old history of concussions. Other than that, he's been
Do you know your names?
He hasn't missed the games, honestly.
The only game he missed this year was because of COVID.
Yep. And he already broke 1,000 yards receiving with Mills and
Tyrod.
Godly, man. So I think he is QB proof.
He is truly QB proof. I mean, because remember the knock on him was like, oh, he had Breeze and then Brady.
Quarterbacks.
Breeze, Brady,
and
then he did it with golf.
He did it with golf. Yeah,
he did do it with golf. There was other receivers there.
I mean, but that's Sean
He can
McVay.
do it with anybody, really.
Let me pull up my QB overachiever, and I know he didn't finish the season very great, and I'm pivoting here because the guru took the guy I was going to talk about, but that's cool. And I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford because Cooper Kupp is on fire, and the other guy on the other end who was tossing him all those touchdown passes was Matthew Stafford. I'm sure he carried people to playoff contention or right on the rim of doing that. And then he kind of had some down games, like right when it really counted. But other than that, I still think that he overachieved because considering where you drafted him, though, and what you were expecting him to do, he did great. I mean, what did he finish in the season? I think like QB6 or QB5 or 7 or something like that. QB5. Look at that. That's amazing. Considering that he was probably undrafted in some situations.
I had him at 9 going into the year because there was it was the whole thing. Here's my whole thing was that he was going to have a remnants of a run game for real for the first time in his career. Not even a remnants, a legit run game, like a full on run game, no matter who it was, Henderson, Cam Akers, whoever.
Yeah, but all those guys are hurt now too. So if you think about
it, I had him at 9 as well. Yeah.
But here's my thing is that I figured he's, for the first time in his career, he's not going to have to shred. He had the great defense. I didn't know the defense was going to come out and be shitty for the most part. Their defense was giving up a lot of points throughout the year. They weren't, the number one unit like they were last year because they were number one in a lot of metrics. You know what I mean? Yards given up, points allowed, etc. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden there's this middle of the pack defense with all these Hollywood fucking Rams. That's what I call them, the Hollywood Rams. They had Hollywood names, bro. Fucking training for Von Miller and all.
Yeah, I mean, OBJ. Yeah.
But I will say this though, it is chock full of a lot of guys that have been into the playoffs. This is an experienced team, and the one guy who doesn't have the real playoff experience is the quarterback. You know what I mean? Going into these playoffs, but yeah, it's definitely overachieved from what I thought. I mean, I had him at 9. He was a QB1, but it was just like, because I mean. I thought like, if they're going to be in control of a lot of these games, how much is he going to have to do? I actually had them winning the division. I have them going to the Super Bowl. Like I was really big on them, but he came out there. He was gunslinging like a motherfucker. He had to.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a decent overachiever.
That was a good one, Peacock, because that for the most part, a lot of people were kind of torn on him. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, Matthew Stafford was good for fantasy in Detroit because he had to throw it fucking all the time because they were losing and this and that. You know what I mean? There was an argument to make against it, but yeah, I'm glad because I had Stafford. I was on Stafford just because of the value too. Super flex, like you know what I mean? Like everywhere I could get him. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers that were pulling him up a little earlier in super flex were definitely the guys that were on it. They were like, yeah, he's gonna be a guy.
And he was really going between, QB 9 and QB like 12, like right in there. It was him, Brady, and Tannehill that all seemed to be going in that late range like that. And if you did Tannehill, you got fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Staffy's numbers right now?
He is
I know he's QB5 in a 6 point.
46-48 on the yardage. 28 or 38 touchdowns to 15 interceptions.
I think he goes for 40 tugs. I think he throws at least 2 against my Niners. My Niners our secondary is so bad.
Yeah, Bogey, I'm gonna be rooting against your Niners, man. That's my only hope for my.
Why am I rooting against your Saints?
Yeah, we're gonna be enemies this week. It's hell week for me and Bogey.
Hey, listen,
be going at it, man. I gotta put my little.
I hope both of us lose because then I think we get in. Oh no, we get in with it.
It's
someone
fucking
has
war
to lose.
now.
I hope we both lose. Hilarious.
You know what though, too? If we get in this thing. If my Niners get into the dance, right? We're getting in there with Trey Lance, and like this is where like
dancing with Lance, man. Do the dance with Lance.
Sure, Lance a lot.
When you don't have a lot of film on somebody, and you have this other playbook you've been waiting for to get into the playoffs with, like just Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be some shit, man. Our defense isn't going to be able to bail us out. And he's like, you know, he makes ugly mistakes like Jimmy. He's just not as handsome as him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel with Taysom Hill. Like, it's just like, man, he's gonna. I mean, I love him, but he makes
Boring.
he's too limited. Like, it's just as a passer. I mean, the Saints passing offense right now it's amazing. We went from Drew Brees, you know, Hall of Famer, to now it's like we can barely get a first down through the air. It's just, it's insane.
I mean, you guys are playing the Falcons this week, so you're going to be able to run all over them.
Right. Yeah, that's what I keep telling people, man. My buddy, it's a big, you know, obviously a big hoodad from down there. He's all nervous about the Falcons. I keep saying, don't worry about the Falcons. It's Matty Slush. He's like, oh, Matt Ryan's still good. He's still got it.
Matty Slush.
He does not still have it. Matt Ryan sucks.
Divisional is different. I mean, they did.
Right. That's what I said.
That's probably the best game he had. Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that was the best game.
The best game he had all year was against y'all, and they actually won that game. So
yeah, now it was all downhill from there. Ever since then, Matt Ryan has been horrendous. Like,
so are we already doing quarterback underachievers then?
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead. Fire yours off.
Fire
yours off, Peacock.
Matt Ryan will be mine. He was,
I
wasn't on Matt Ryan this year.
I wouldn't either. Honestly, they
had Arthur Smith. They had Arthur Smith.
I was going to say, you know, you're talking about Arthur Smith. I was going to say Ryan Tannehill. I mean, you know that he was tied to Derrick Henry for a good portion of that, but he just the health of Antonio Brown,
reality team,
Julio Jones. Yeah, but I mean, Tannehill, for where you drafted him last year and the way he was scoring fantasy points, like he was parallel to Patrick Mahomes' numbers for a good portion of his season there. Once he became a Titan till, I think a full season of last year, so it was like a season and a half sample size where he was tearing it up. So you drafted him this year in redraft with some confidence, I feel. And the change in the offensive coordinator, along with compound that with Derrick Henry's foot injury midway through, the people keying in on their play. After that, the play action was non-existent, and Ryan Tannehill was forced to throw it up to a bunch of nobodies. I can't even name the other guys. Honestly, it was like Akine and
Nick Westbrook.
NWI.
Yeah, there's just too many like backups. I mean, I don't think that it was so much the fact that Ryan Tannehill disappointed, but the fact that everybody on that roster just fell off for him. And they won games. They got rid of him. They got rid of the Riddle draft. They won games like 15-13, and they got by.
Games, Yeah, what was a fun fact about Tannehill? Not really a fun fact if you drafted him, like a just awful fact. He was so bad as a passer, like he had 7 rushing tugs. So you figure, 7 rushing tugs, that'll help offset his deficiencies as a passer. Well, he sucked ass this year as a passer. I mean, I know he didn't have his weapons, but geez, he fell off a cliff.
Well, you know what comes out of ass, my friend? Shit.
Yes, he was a shit fucking passer, man. He was one of the worst passers in the league, man. He was just so bad. I don't have his
hell of a
booty cheeks, even
his TDs to ratio, but it was pretty awful. 14, yeah, that's disgusting. That's like freaking rookie quarterback shit. Like that's pitiful that a veteran like him is struggling that much. I mean, I know I ask a lot of him, but damn, and he had his weapons out. So I mean, I'm not saying he's as bad as freaking Matt Ryan or Big Ben, but he was the upper echelon of shit. Like you got him and Ryan and Ben, and with Trevor Lawrence is just buried deep.
Underachieving because some people draft, like I said, you were set up to draft him with a little level of confidence, after what you've seen from the entire time he'd been in Tennessee.
Giving him Julio too, bro. Like,
and that's why he was getting another weapon. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
And everybody was on him because when they got
the play action was always going to be nasty. The play action's nasty when you got the King Henry, bro. You know what I mean?
But they haven't had King Henry. That's the thing. And it doesn't matter. They're going to come back in the playoffs now.
The King Henry and Coolio, they thought they had all of that. So everyone figured, well, with all that Coolio.
Oh man, he needs to move on to a rapper's. What is it, Paradise or something? I don't know. He needs to retire.
Drop album. The NFL career's on the back 9, buddy. He needs to just end it, man. He just can't stay healthy.
Oh, soft tissue injuries at that age is tough.
Yeah, but it's fun. Whenever I think Julio, I think of AJ Green because they were both draft picks in that same. I gotta give him a little actually healthy this.
Yeah. Hey, Guru, you're kind of cutting in and out there. You might need a jump out and jump back in.
Plug in and plug
I'm stuck
out.
in the matrix.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah. But I will reflect what I'll pick up where he left off. He was talking about AJ Green and Julio. They were drafted in the same draft class, and they kind of were those guys that were plagued with them soft tissue injuries a lot of times in their career. And Julio's he's a big fucker, dude. You know what I mean? He was, what is he, like 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, he's huge. He is like 6'3".
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just like
AJ Green as well, yeah.
He was also but he was bigger than AJ Green though. Like weight and
weight wise. Oh,
yeah, weight wise, yeah, because AJ Green was like lengthy. And AJ Green kind of looked like a basketball player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Garnett.
But Julio, he also ran track, bro. So it's like he's all too familiar with soft tissue injuries. You know what I mean? Because like this motherfucker's always trying to go top speed. You know what I mean?
I too ran track and have soft tissue injury history.
You see what I'm saying? Groins, hamstrings, calves. These are like very
calves,
common.
hamstrings, mostly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasional groin. Not very often.
Yeah, I guess the groin's more so like because
the groin's more like when you toss your hips and you're like you twitch or you're moving laterally. I don't know.
So yeah, we do. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a running back. The groin is like a running, or like once you have the ball in your hands, I guess. Yeah.
That's like me in my younger days, bro. Yeah, man.
I'd always pull.
I'm so old.
They would pull the groin for me.
Yes, I pulled my groin doing indoor sports.
Well, here you go. My big disappointment was Lamar, and Ronald shouted it out. I mean, what was he going, like second off the board and a lot third, maybe? I've seen him go first in a couple. I mean, TD took him first overall in one of the Hustler Dynasty leagues. It is like a 0.25 point per carry, so it's like a different type of scoring system. But
guy who had him in my home league won the whole league, and he had Huntley as the backup, so he did fine. You know.
I mean, even before Lamar Jackson got the ankle injury, I mean, he was so he needed 5 quarters to be fantasy relevant in a couple of those games.
Yeah, a lot of overtime games. Yeah.
Yeah, he had 3 overtime games. Yeah,
he was really bad.
All right, guys, I got to go drop off some stuff that my daughter wants, but I'll be back hopefully.
Okay, brother, drive safe.
Yeah. So he finished as QB 15. Or at least right now is QB 15, 2880 for the yards, 16 TDs to 13 interceptions, 767 on the ground. So, I mean, for not playing a lot, I mean, he put up a lot of yards and only 2 touchdowns on the ground, though.
That was probably the most disappointing about him, I'd say, because on the ground, normally he's a guy that'll rack up, 8 to 10. But yeah, I think the loss of J.K. Dobbins really hurt, and Gus Edwards. They didn't have that typical power run game, and that just fucked up the whole offense.
Rodney Stanley on that line too. I can't remember if that's his first name, but Stanley, who plays.
They had so many freaking
on the left side of that line. He plays left guard. You know what I mean? He tore his ACL last year and then re-aggravated whatever the fuck it was, and he was out, and it was just like. Now, like the Dolphins, and believe it or not, before the Dolphins, it was Detroit that kind of really shows, like, listen, man, just all you gotta do is just always send somebody to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how that was kind of the blueprint. The Detroit Lions put that out there. You know what I mean? And then the Dolphins really put it on display when they played them. You know what I mean? Just hella corner blitzes, just always someone blitzing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which that shouldn't be like that hard. I mean, for someone who runs that much, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that that's the way that you beat them.
Yeah, I mean that's how the Ravens contained Cap. They're in the Super Bowl during those years where the pistol and the read option was a real real popular. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what you had to do, and just have somebody who's basically a spy all day. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just going after him off the edge, or you know what I mean. Like it was crazy, man, because Lamar is like, I think next year if he could perfect just getting the ball out quick instead of his third read is just to take off. You know what I mean?
You're just trying to do too much on every play. I mean, you can see it when your line's banged up, when you got no run game, you got no blockers, in your run game. Like that was the secret for everyone doing good is just get the ball out in, less than 3 seconds. Like a lot of teams with shitty lines have to do anyways.
Yeah, he was just panicking there. Like with the damn in that Browns game with Lamar, he was just panicking. He would just like, whoo, yeah.
And there we go. Zeb said, back the truck up for Lamar. Let's get it one time.
Yeah, back the dump truck. Yeah. Speaking of QBs that are mobile, and that pissed me off all year, my underachiever at the QB position is goddamn Kyler Wren. He not strong on the dark side of the force at all this year. He actually mirrored his year last year. Still finished great in fantasy, but on a per game basis, it's trash. And then he actually missed a significant amount of time this year. And I had a ton of Kyler Murray, man.
I don't think we can say he finished great. He finished as QB 11.
No, I mean last year.
Oh yeah.
Because he kind of mirrored his season as far as like hot the first like half of the year, then injured, and then mediocre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say I'm with you on that, Bogey. I had Kyler in one league, and it was my worst league. I finished near the bottom.
Yeah, fuck Kyler.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he killed me. He killed me.
It's not even all due to the injuries either. I mean, he had a bunch of bad games.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Yeah, that whole offense was a big dump truck, other than James Conner.
Here's another thing too. That's what there it is. Thank you, Guru. A motherfucking James Conner, bruh. And on early on when we were doing the What If series.
Hey, wait, we're doing underachievers. Can't talk about overachievers right now.
No, but spoiler alert. That's one of my overachievers.
James Conner is definitely an overachiever this year.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that he's kind of tied to like the negative outlook in fantasy for Kyler Murray because they would get down there and he's running that thing in, B.
Yeah.
He's running that thing in. And that shit, and early on, I think it was week 2 on this show. I was like, what if James Conner is going to piss off all us Kyler Murray managers all year? And he kind of did, bro. Fuck James Conner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. He hit that what if on the.
And I was really more mad because I didn't have any James Conner out of 21 leagues. I had zero
I didn't
James
either.
Conner.
Yeah, I had 0 James Conner too, and I had to see him score. I hate when that happens when I miss. So that one for hits and misses. That was one I missed on. I was worried on Chase Edmonds. I'd rather Chase Edmonds over Conner.
I had a couple Chase Edmonds.
I had a couple Chase Edmonds too. It's just with fucking Conner. It was the same thing last year. It's like they basically used him like with Kenyon Drake last year was the freaking pest near the goal line. Right? Yeah, near the goal line.
His music sucks.
Right? Yeah, stealing all the shit from Edmonds. And then Conner does the same shit. It's annoying.
Right. Yeah, so Kyler's stats on the year. He finished with a 69% completion percentage.
Hit the drop.
Everything else wasn't so good, though. 35-47 for the passing yards, 23 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I mean, that's an all right ratio, but, I mean, he had 26 touchdowns last year through the air and had 11 on the ground. He only had 5 on the ground this year.
Yeah, his rushing really plummeted this year.
He took a grandstand. Do you remember that in the offseason? He took a grandstand in one of the interviews. He was like, they were like asking him about how they think the offense, how do you think the offense is going to look this year and what's the outlook and blah, blah, blah. He goes, I want my ability to run the ball to be more of a luxury than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that ain't good news for fantasy.
It reflected that a lot. You know what I mean? They made a conscious effort in the offseason. They're like, go get James Conner, like who's actually a running back who's proven he was in a bad situation. You know what I mean? And they bring over Hudson, the center from
the Raiders.
From the Raiders. They brought over then they brought over a couple more linemen, I forget, but they really addressed it, and I was like, okay, they're gonna run the ball. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny how in hindsight, a lot of these things were there. And even like, adding AJ Green, I didn't know the addition of AJ Green was really going to fuck up like DeAndre Hopkins to a sense, as in he just has another option now. He doesn't have to pepper this one guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nuke Skywalker got hit because they had Christian Kirk, AJ Green, and Rondale Moore. Not that Rondale Moore was that great, but still, it's just more options there.
Yeah, and then get down there, all these options to move the ball, just to get James Conner to punch it in. Fuck James Conner.
Yes, I'm
Shit was frustrating as fuck.
James Conner, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll drink to that.
Well, you know what? Y'all drink to that too. But you know what? How about this? Where you guys want to take it to? Receivers, running backs? What y'all want to do?
Let's go to running backs.
Yeah, there's this unwritten rule, at least for me. I always say I use quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. That's kind of like the unwritten order.
I like going in that order too.
Yeah, it's like the unwritten order.
It's like the sleeper order of your lineup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
Go with quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end. Okay, so let's go with the overachievers, man. At running back, I'm going with Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know he died on us, you know what I mean, before the dance or whatnot, but man, he was such a value in drafts. And in hindsight, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but this was something that I definitely didn't see come. I mean, he had 69 receptions, hit the drop.
69, dudes.
Yeah, it's 69 receptions in his last full season, right? Or at least where he played at least 90%. That was with the Jags with my man Gardner Minshew, the Ginsu. He had 76 receptions, so this was in his repertoire. Wasn't like he was a route runner by any means at all, but he'll sure as hell take one out of the backfield, just a little dump off. And Brady's constantly looking for that. If you have okay hands or good hands, he's gonna dump it off to you. They're always moving forward. It was fucking awesome. Too bad he got the fucking hammy. And this is a team that they have obviously not just playoff aspirations, Super Bowl aspirations. So, once he got any kind of soft tissue injury, I was like, oh, he's just done until the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But awesome, dude. I don't even know his numbers. Did he go over it that well?
I think he came close.
All purpose?
I mean, he finished as
well over.
He finished as running back.
All purpose.
Finished as running back 5. So I mean, that's got to be an overachievement right there.
I mean, I might have should have looked at the rankings before. You know what I'm saying? But this is all about discovery. I'm learning on the show just like everyone.
So he had 811 on the ground, 8 touchdowns. We already said the 69 receptions.
69, dudes.
454 yards through that. So yeah, well over 1,000, and then he had 2 touchdowns through the air as well.
Yeah, he was sniffing 1,300 plus all purpose. That's awesome, man. And this is a guy too. Next year, you know what I mean. He'll probably be overdrafted, but definitely overachieved this year. And
Supreme Billboard. Yeah, we're still doing questions whenever they come in. A lot of people aren't playing right now, so we're not getting as many questions as we did. But if you're in week 18, drop
the question, bro. We got you.
And so my overachiever got to throw in some love for Corduroy Pimpin.
Yeah.
Finished as running back 8. He definitely failed, down the stretch in the playoffs. But hopefully you pivoted off of him when the writing was on the wall that Atlanta just sucks.
Yeah, they are fucking terrible, man. That's all. I'm as a Saints fan, I'm just chilling. I'm worried about that the Rams might lose the Bogies Niners. I mean, I feel like if we don't handle our business, then we don't deserve.
You know what?
Playoffs. I mean, we can't beat Atlanta.
If there was ever a game that I didn't want to play them during this time, it's this one, because we've beat the Rams 5 straight, right? With Himmy though, with my man handsome Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, maybe we come out and we formulate a game plan with Lance, and getting mobile and stuff like that. But because the real way to beat them is with the tight end. That's how you attack. If you want to attack them with the aerial attack, you attack them with the tight end, bro. George Kittle had
I have a healthy Kittle, so I think I'll have a good shot.
But see, Kittle, Kittle's always on the field. Here's the thing. Kittle's always on the field because if he's not on the field running a route, he's blocking. You know what I mean? Last week, his routes run were than a week prior with Jimmy, because he's out there blocking more for these design runs, or even when the play breaks down. He's out there blocking for his mobile QB now. That's what sucks, because you attack them with the tight end. That's how you beat the Rams secondary. The coverage on the outside with Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams is always phenomenal. So this, that's people have been finding the holes and with the tight end. And it just sucks because, Kittle's the one who takes the worst hit when it's Lance, as far as I saw.
And Ronald, you ain't lying, said Corduroy Pimpin turned back into a pumpkin, really, but it did take longer than I thought, though. He had it kept going for a while. And we got another.
Go ahead.
And we got another host on the show. JC Money Design made it in the building.
What is up, fam?
Yo,
Jesus Christ!
The beat is in the building.
Do you fuck with Walking Dead, bro?
I liked it when it first came out, and then
Okay. So you didn't watch it long
Carl,
enough to the
Carl
intro?
kind of became a bitch.
Man, if somebody listen, man, somebody Google the image, bro, of Jesus from the Walking Dead television series. I swear to God, it's this motherfucker, bro. You on the show, bro. Don't lie to me, bro.
Did you play Super Draft?
Yeah, he got down. He got down with your lineup.
I don't see him in the basic one.
Sometimes I try to get into the basics or even the premium and not the, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be like, this joint is filled up.
I only played that one in the basic. Can't have the same as everyone and everywhere. And it's winning. We're in 33rd place right now.
What for?
In the basic one.
Yeah, but what's they hitting for it in the basic? Like $20, $30?
In the basic, it's only 50 cents. Basic's cheap as
wow.
hell. I think the top.
See, that's why I don't fuck with.
I don't know if this is a good representation from the show, but this is what I found.
His beard is weak as hell.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? Your beard does dominate his. But still, though, when you wear the beanie on the show, sometimes I'm like, this fucking Jesus from Walking Dead. I mean, on the mushroom. Now that you pulled up the image, I'm like, maybe you're right.
Let's see.
Your version is better.
He was like super awesome, though. That's one of my favorite characters from the comics. They didn't really do him justice on the show. He's like a ninja for real. Like, his name is Jesus on the show. His name's really not Jesus, but the community calls him Jesus. And he's a straight up dude who, like, he's mastered like ninjutsu. So he just goes out there and he fucking whoops ass. You know what I mean?
In the elite right now, you should be in like 20. You should be in 20th place. If you played that lineup in the elite one, you should be in 20th place right now. Should be winning $5.
Yeah, I'm not, because I didn't use your exact lineup. You guys took a little bit too long to get to it, and I had to get out the door. So I used a variation of the guys that you had in there.
We like to wait till close to the end because of players going out.
It's a good point.
Yeah, with COVID, man. My fantasy basketball team.
Co-host on there, he was awesome.
Seth Curry, dude. Seth Curry scored 80 points.
Nice.
Man, come on, you should always start Steph Curry, bro.
No, Seth Curry.
His little brother.
Oh, yeah, bro. Just listen, bro. He's related to him, bro. Start that motherfucker too, bro.
And then
Drew
Drew Holiday got 60 points. That's pretty good for a 1.2 multiplier.
Hey, look at man.
That's pretty good.
Is it not holidays right now?
Yeah,
Drew Holiday, former Pelican, man. I wish the Pels still had him. He was a stud.
He's so good. Like, he's really good at assists and like
a true point guard.
Where's he at?
No, we traded him to the Bucks, man, and we got.
That's right.
And anytime that Giannis
he's there with the freak, bro.
With Giannis,
right,
but the crazy thing is, anytime Giannis doesn't play, he fucking goes bananas.
Well, him and Giannis, man. Yeah, that's a nice duo. I mean, and what did the Pels get back? Eric Bledsoe and a pile of shit. Oh, I'm just a bitter Pels fan, y'all. I'm sorry.
And then
hold on.
Portis was kind of shitty because he got into foul trouble early, so that's what sucks.
Hold on. The Pelicans used to be the Hornets, but now the Hornets are back, right?
Yeah, because they were the Bobcats in
Yeah, they were the
Charlotte. And
Bobcats,
whenever the
yeah.
Pelicans became the Pelicans, the Hornets named opened up. And
Okay.
Charlotte was originally the Hornets, so they took
Yep.
back that name.
Okay, awesome. Because the Bobcats were stupid. I'm like, come on, Mike. I'm like, Michael Jordan, come on, man.
Yeah, so it basically they traded the Pelicans for the Bobcats, and I'm down with the Pelicans. I got the hat right here. I mean, I fuck with them. So yeah,
Hey,
I'm glad we
Pelicans-
went to the Pelicans. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
dope
bro.
name.
It's one hell of a bird.
Fucking
Better
right.
than the Kraken.
And it's our state bird. It's the Louisiana state bird, so it made
Right.
sense. Yep. And
Yeah, I'm
to get
surprised
back
we
to the what was it?
No, I was just thinking because I was thinking we have our California's the bear. And I was
Oh,
like,
for
do we have
sure.
the
Yeah.
bear? I was just thinking in my
Yeah,
head,
got the
is
bear
there
on the
bears?
flag,
Oh,
and we got the
cow.
pelican on our flag. So yeah,
Minnesota
Mm.
State bird is a mosquito, so
that should be our
An
state
actual
bird, really.
mosquito.
fuckers are huge, dude. The ones out here are huge. You hit them once and they'll hit you back.
Damn,
A
that's kind of well.
mosquito? In
Yeah,
the
dude,
cold.
they're big.
Here down
Bro.
here, it's more. They're small, but there's a
Nasty.
shit ton of them. So
Yeah,
like,
there's
if
a
you
lot
kill
here,
one,
too.
then there's 100 more that come at you.
Yeah,
It's
Minnesota's
fucked,
bad.
Tell your friends about me.
Exactly, it's like a whole gang. It's
killing-
like gang
Listen,
shit.
man,
Man.
I
You
hate
gotta,
bugs.
you gotta
David, we
just
said
keep
Seth
knocking.
Curry, not Steph Curry.
I was a camping motherfucker as a kid. I used to love camping. You know,
Oh, yeah.
my family were amphibious. We had ski boats and goddamn jet skis and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? My cousins had jet skis. We used to always go to the lake and like always go camping and shit like that. And I never minded, you know what I'm saying? But when I look back, I was like, damn, I used to be fucked up off the mosquito bites, bro. Just like
Oh
I'd
yeah,
be covered because you didn't give a fuck. You're a kid. You're just out there nowadays. Like I'm good. I ain't trying to camp.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I went back to this past week. My buddy was in town where we used to always go camping. We were hanging out near the woods near his old house, and like and sure enough, the next day chewed up by mosquitoes. I didn't even notice. I was just having a good time with the
Yeah, because when you're
boys,
drinking and
reminiscing.
everything, hell
Yeah, we were drinking, having a good time. It felt like high school and
The
college all
motherfuckers just
over
like
again.
ninjas, bro.
And then I wake up the next morning. I'm not even kidding. Like I had ankle socks on, low cut ankle socks right around my ankles. 20, 30 mosquito bites all
Man.
along. I was like, oh man, it itched
Because
so bad.
one mosquito will get in there and just start tearing it up. Like one
Oh,
of
I
them will
got
bite you a
tore
few
up,
times.
man. I got tore up. They finally healed up and don't itch no more. But man, that
Yeah,
was
dude, the ones here, dude, you
that
can
was
legit
tough.
like go like this and pop them because they don't fucking stop.
Oh damn. Yeah, it's
For
probably
real?
like it's.
Yeah, for real, they don't stop. They don't give a fuck. They're like, dude, I'm trying to eat here.
Oh yeah, it's
They're,
nuts, man.
they're mosquitoes that were fit to bite a Viking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
An actual
Yeah.
Viking, though, not the team. You know what I mean? Like them axe swinging motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
it
yeah,
survives
okay,
the
hold on.
cold. But I was
Let's
like,
get
my
back to it.
overachieving. Yeah, I was like, can I go with my overachieving?
Go ahead.
I'll go. I'm gonna go with my local product. My buddy from down here, man. He just killed it. He's one of your Niners, Bogard.
Yeah, that was mine.
Elijah Mitchell, man, it's incredible what he
was my other
did
one.
for being a 6th-round draft pick. Like, just holy shit. If he
Who
wouldn't
could
have
be
gotten
that?
hurt, we'd be talking about him as like a potential. He'd be up there with Najee, like who's the top rookie running back. Like that dude, man, he was incredible. Just incredible.
Fuck yeah,
and,
he was.
and Kyle Shanahan normally, is a committee guy. Well, when Eli was healthy, there was no committee. It was just
Yeah,
Elijah
20
Mitchell,
20
Elijah
touches
Mitchell, and more
on the
Elijah
ground.
Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
fucking love
it's more like just like I mean, it was crazy what he did. He hacked the system. He did so well to where Shanahan was like, "All right, fuck this committee shit. He's
We
our
were-
primary workforce."
This
Yeah,
is the
dude,
one we
I
used
love
to
the
be
fucking
on,
Eli.
when we used to do another show. My version's better. It was me and Huss, and we had you on, and we were talking about running back. We were doing your running back rankings,
Yeah,
and Jeff, Mostert was in there, but we went to talking about Jeff Wilson, and I said, and then when Jeff Wilson got
yeah,
hurt,
Trey
remember that?
Sermon.
We were on the
Mostert,
show.
Yeah.
We were actually on the show when we got the news that he got hurt. That Jeff Wilson.
Oh yeah,
got hurt.
Jeff Wilson. Yeah.
And then we're like, oh shit, it might be Trey Sermon time. And then I remember I go, hey, well, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Also keep an eye on Elijah Mitchell. And then you're like, oh yeah, the Raging Cajun.
Yeah, the
Like,
Raging Cajun, man. Born in
You brought-
Iraq,
you were like-
Louisiana.
Yeah, you went to school with that motherfucker, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
I
had
went to
class
college
him.
with him. Yeah, I had a class with him and shit. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
you
cool.
put him on my radar. And I looked at him, I looked him up, like, yeah, this motherfucker had a ton of yards. Like, what he had, like 2,000 wow in a season.
Yeah, he could do it all. He was an all-purpose back for the
Yeah.
Cajuns. He was like a great receiver out the
He was
backfield
awesome.
and a big bruiser on top of it. He was the
Yeah.
most complete back we had, because we had the big bruiser Trey Regis and the finesse back Raymond Calais. But I mean, Eli was definitely the best one because he could do it all. I mean, he would have put up way better numbers in college if it wasn't for those two.
Look at him.
Yeah, it was a
looked at him
three-headed
and was like,
committee. If it wasn't for that, Eli would have been a higher draft pick. He'd have
But
put
still,
up
though,
like
the-
insane numbers. But Shanahan knew what he was built like. So yeah,
in a three-headed backfield, he was the guy that can do both jobs. You know what I mean? So when you're down there in the money zone, right? When you're down there in the red, you could have him out there and you don't look one-dimensional. You know
exactly, because he can
Like,
do it all.
That's
man.
what Shanahan saw for sure. Shout out to Eli Mitchell over. He's part of my fraternity. I beat Hustler in the Super Bowl with him. And I want the Hard to Start Super Flex with him in there.
Oh, he was hard to start. Yeah, not his.
Yeah, because
we
we
talked with Kev last week. Yeah,
I only had him in so many leagues. I mean, I have him on my dynasty leagues too, but it was like, you know, he wasn't really helping me when I needed him. You know what I mean? Like, I survived in spite of him, and then he, you know, because of that, he was able to show up for me in the big show. You know what I mean? Like, there was no question I wasn't going to play him coming off the injury. You know what I mean? Like, because Shanahan was going to, he had been averaging about 18 carries on the ground on the games he started. You know what I mean? I think he got 19 in his last game, 19 or 20.
Yeah, he was more of a big back. I mean, he caught a few passes here and there, but his main thing was to be like just that primary runner, just that big, just bruiser. Hopefully, I mean, it was a big workload, probably why he got injured, but hopefully next year he could stay healthy because considering he didn't play the full slate, he'll probably be slightly undervalued in drafts next year because his season.
As long as we don't make any changes, I mean, like,
so.
I know Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson is not gonna. I don't think he's there. I know we extended him last year. I wasn't sure if it was 1 or 2 years. Either way, like, you know, and Mostert's obviously going to be done. You know, he's gone.
Yeah, it'll probably be Trey Sermon and Hasty will probably be the other one.
Yeah, so because, you know, we're going to have some form of a committee, but like there's going to be one guy who dominates most of the touches, and that would definitely be Eli Mitchell. I mean,
yeah, I think he's proven himself at this point. I don't think Shanny would turn his back on him.
Like, I'm in the Bay Area, so my drafts, there's going to be Niner fans, and these motherfuckers are going to pull them up too high. But like in more traditional, you know, like, or like, you know, in our leagues where people like, you know, where we're a little sharper, you know, he's going to be a good value here. You know
right. Yeah, I'd say so. Some people might be like, oh, well, you know, in PPR, he didn't catch much, but with his college background, I know he can catch, man. He is a great receiver out of the backfield. So for PPR, I see his receptions going up next year.
I'm saying though, like, I mean, here's the thing. He's at minimum a top 15 guy if he plays all year. You know what I mean? At minimum.
Yeah, they have a solid second round pick. Just imagine going back to back running back. You could pair up just imagine pairing up him and JT.
I think he's gonna be later than that. I think he'll be like a 4th or 5th rounder, to be honest.
Damn. And I'll take a couple receivers then. I'll take JT. Take a couple receivers like Jets Jefferson and Jamar Chase or whatever. Well, probably can't get both of them, but you know what I'm saying. Just get 2 receivers.
I think Chase is going up in the 2nd round this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same way Jefferson was going
probably like a 4th rounder.
Jefferson was a 2nd rounder this year. You know what I'm saying? Off of his rookie performance, right? That's definitely Chase. Chase is going up.
Right. Yeah. So let's say get 2 solid receivers. Then get Mitchell like JT. You know, JT, you get JT Chase and goddamn, maybe like trying to think of somebody, a CD Lamb type, you know, get that in Mitchell. That's a great first four.
CD Lamb's gonna be like 2020 Keenan Allen or 2020 Diggs.
Yeah,
he's gonna be going in like the 5th, 6th round. People are gonna be off CD Lamb, to be honest. I mean, unless you're in Texas, where I'd imagine they just pull up every goddamn.
There's too many Cowboy fans. No one's gonna be everywhere. Off him. He's still gonna get hyped again.
Oh yeah.
Well, he could be somewhat post hype.
I mean, Michael Gallup. They're gonna be like, Michael Gallup's not gonna be there, or Michael Gallup's coming off the ACL, or like, I mean, because he probably won't be there in the first half of the year if they bring him back. You know what I mean?
They could spin it however they want.
That's a good point.
Maybe a better one would be a Deante Johnson. I mean, he's been a PPR stud this year.
Yeah, but you gotta give me a good QB there. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it'll depend on who the QB is, right?
And then also the QB that comes in, if he doesn't have the rapport with him immediately, if he has a rapport with Claypool, he has a rapport, you know what I mean? Like Deontay Johnson too. Here's the thing: is like whenever he has a drop, bro, and they'll pan over and show like Mike Tomlin, he's shaking his head because this motherfucker just be dropping. Deontay Johnson, bro. It's like, bro,
maybe Jaylen Waddle. How about Jaylen Waddle?
I
Get him in
love
that third round conversation. He could have a JT, Jets, Jefferson, Jaylen Waddle, Elijah Mitchell.
I mean, Deante Johnson's finishing as the wide receiver 7 right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he should be doing better than what he is because of all his drops, but he definitely overachieved because no one drafted him as like top. No one drafted him top 7. I don't think anyone drafted him top 10.
He was like Stephon Diggs last year, just going in like those mid round. Yeah, he was like a 5th rounder. Hey, yo, Deontay Johnson, he went hard, bro. Because, but another stat I saw, he's one of the top leaders in yards after the catch, bro. Because that motherfucker just dumping his door. He had to do all the work.
And let's help out Supreme Billard with his question here. Full PPR, start 2. Swift, Javonte, Penny, and then for the flex, Waddle, Kirk, or a player not selected from the first 2. Or
So
from the first one.
Playing Penny, and
got to.
Detroit's playing the Packers with all their backups. So I'm not opposed to the Swift thing, unless all of a sudden they say Swift's not playing, because I think last week was them getting him back in, like working him back into the fold. His touch has got to go up this week.
Yeah, because he got, well, I mean, you look at it, Jamal Williams got 11 touches, or at least on the ground. I mean, he got a couple receptions too. I mean, Swift, he had 4 touches. He still had the best, like output out of
yards on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he had like a 37-yard run or something though. So it was like there was, or a 32-yard run or whatever it was.
Well, he only has 32 yards. So if it was a 37,
I'd just be
stuck for the other 3.
I think I'm going all 3 running backs here, and then I'm going to go Waddle.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's where I'd be going to.
Yeah.
It's tough, but week 18's tough.
Fuck
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
get
And yeah, Manny in the building. What up, bro? Showing some Twitch love. Epic Gamer, what up on Twitch? Oh, yeah. Well, who's your one of your overachievers?
I think I'm going to say, I would say, I'm going to say Damian Harris. That's who I'm going to go with.
Yeah,
I think he did really, really well. I mean, he was banged up a couple times here and there, but like whenever he got the opportunity, he fucking shined. Especially with, I think he's doing really, really well with Mac Jones being there too. They had a little bit of connection back in Bama days, just a little bit though. Damian only played with him for a little bit. I mean, here and there because Mac wasn't the starter at that time, but they played in practice and shit like that. But they were actually pretty good boys. So. I was actually really, really excited for him when I heard that Mac was going there. So yeah, I was. He did pretty well. I think he did better than we thought.
I mean, he overachieved at the right time because I was like right down the stretch, like in your playoffs. But yeah, I mean, 191 attempts for 892 yards. I mean, over 4.5 yards a carry, 14 touchdowns. I mean, that's huge.
Especially being Patriots running back, most people are like, oh, I don't want to draft the Patriots running back because it's guaranteed committee. It could be 3-4 guys going,
Yeah. Well, let's see. How about some underachievers for the running back spot? I mean, it's got to be guys like, I mean, Alvin Kamara is the first one that comes to mind for me. I mean, finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Finished as RB10. I mean, it's pretty much going as like maybe the lowest he went was RB4.
Fucking Henderson.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the worst year of his career statistically. 210.
CEH, man. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He just can't ever seem to get it done. I mean, it's only his second year, but still, it's like, hey, they give him too high expectation, being the chief starter, thinking he's going to be the next Kareem Hunt, but it's just like, he just ain't getting it done, man. I mean, I'm in a league.
Gaskins could be another one.
Yeah, Gaskin was pretty tough. I'll just say I'm in a league where you keep 6 players, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is one of my potential keepers, but I don't think I'm keeping him next year because I've got Derrick Henry and Monty Burns. I think I'm just gonna go with them two and keep Herbert, Pitts, and a couple of receivers and just let CEH go. I'm sick of him.
Yeah, I'd be kind of sick of him too, especially with Darrell Williams at least.
Double barrel Darrell, man. Double barrel Darrell's getting some run. I mean, it's become a committee over there, and then Frank Gore's grandson.
And especially on a team that really doesn't run the ball as much as you would like it to,
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, CEH. Yeah, he's probably my biggest underachiever, other than like CMC. I mean, but he got injured.
Yeah, he got injured.
Shit, Dalvin Cook might even be worse than CMC because he was playing damn near all year. And then when you look at his playoffs, he put up 15 points combined in 3 playoff games. I mean, one of them was due to COVID, but still.
Yep.
Damn, that sucks.
Yep, and then as Albert says, Saquon, man. Saquon was fucking horrible. I mean, the whole team was horrible. I mean, they could just say everyone on the fucking, they call them the midgets. I mean, the freaking.
Are we on underachievers now?
Underachievers.
Yeah, running backs. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to just say one more overachiever, just in a nutshell, Joe fucking Mixon, because
I expect a lot.
I expect it. But everybody and their mama, they hated Joe Mixon. Everybody and their mama, they're like, oh, he gets hurt all the time. But when he doesn't get hurt, he balls. But so let's go back to the shitty ones.
Finishes ours RB4. So, I mean, he deserves being talked about for a second. He had 1,205 yards, 292 attempts, over 4 yards a clip, 13 touchdowns. That's big time. And then he had 42 receptions, 314 yards, and another 3 touchdowns through the air. So 16 total touchdowns.
He went damn near 300, almost. Oh, I'm trying to do the math. Okay, so that's like 300. He went over 320 touches. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. And he only had 4 games where he got underneath double-digit points.
I love Joe Mixon.
Joe Mix a lot.
It's funny because people they would get away from you like you had disease when you said Joe Mixon.
I didn't want any part of it.
See, I mean, a lot of people were just avoiding him. I mean, he was that third round back, that you had to take like a shot on with the third round because you didn't know what the hell you were going to get.
There was leagues I was going running back, and getting Joe Mixon as my third running back, along with Henry, Gibson, and then Mixon. And it was like, I felt really good about those leagues. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, my receivers were shot if I didn't hit on the mid-round guys. In this one league where that one in particular, I took Robert Woods over Cooper Kupp. And it's like, man, I probably would have won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Because I went running back. And then what was it? Robert Woods in the 4th. And that was a little reach, but I liked him a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it was running back Cooper Kupp. Yeah.
Yeah, running back Cooper Kupp, bro.
Yeah, just imagine that. Holy shit. Yeah, just imagine if you went fucking like Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon, Cooper Kupp.
And he might not even have it. And Jonathan Taylor, he wasn't even going in the first round a lot of times. That's what's crazy. If you're in super for sure.
The Jonathan Taylor truthers were pulling them up in the middle of the first round. You know what I mean? But the more heavier leagues, it was people were getting him and being like, oh shit, I'll take Jonathan Taylor right here. You know what I mean? It was like he was falling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I got him only in the fucking second round. He fell. I took Zeke first, and it was only a 10-manner, but still, I had Zeke and JT. And I was like, shit, I'll take it. Then my next 2 picks were goddamn Ridley and Scary Terry, and so that pissed me off. But I still almost won the league.
Scary Terry, that's my underachiever.
We'll have to roast the shit out of him because, man, he had a horrible year, especially in the second half, man. He was nowhere to be found. Went total ghost mode on us when we needed him the most. Pitiful.
I got one underachiever, man. Right. He's one of my favorites, bro. And just my favorites coming into the year because of where he was being drafted and the outlook and the coach speak. And what he had did last year, everything added up. and it was my man Antonio Banderas Gibson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it
he
could
was
be
a
because he was
disappointment.
plagued with an injury all year, but goddamn, like it was the whole situation sucked. The QB situation.
Yeah, the entire team
Ron
sucked
Rivera's
ass.
fucking bullshit saying that he's going to be CMC 2.0.
Exactly. That's what I said.
And then Ryan Fitzpatrick getting hurt fucking first half of the first game. That threw off everything. If we knew that it wasn't going to be Fitzpatrick the whole year, I wouldn't have drafted as much Gibson as I did. Definitely wouldn't have drafted as much Scary Terry as I did.
Right. Yeah, the Heineke, just as we saw it prove, he had a few games where he was good, but I mean, Fitzmagic would have been much better for fantasy than freaking Heineke for sure.
And we got another host in the building, guys. We got Coach Craig in the building.
Yeah.
What up, Craig?
Hey,
What up, Coach? Welcome to the Real Fantasy Playmakers.
And how about we knock out this question for Big Boston real quick before we transition over to wide receivers? Says, I got a question. Dawson Knox or Dalton Schultz this week?
I'm gonna
I feel
go
like I
Dawson
want.
Knox.
Oh man,
I'm going Dawson Knox because, first of all, I like Dalton Schultz. The Eagles are one of the worst against the tight end. I don't know if they're playing their starters though, and if they are, I don't know if they're playing the whole game. These are two teams, division rival, but two teams that are already locked into the playoffs. I want to play the Stallion and company, which is Dawson Knox. They're playing against the Jets, and it's a game like if they win, it could help them advance in seeding. So,
well, they're still playing. They're still playing for the division. So I mean, they got something to play.
There it is. I forgot.
Yeah,
So
Knox.
this is a meaningful
Knox.
game. I'm going Knox.
Dawson Knox. Yep.
And before we switch to wide receiver, Chase said, "Can we say that Chubb underachieved a little bit?" I'd say so. A lot of it was due to injury with him.
Yeah, I would say a lot of injury, and then he had a couple COVID absences as well.
Yeah.
I think all in all, he missed about 6 weeks or 5 weeks total.
No, he only missed 3 weeks. Ended up
3
with
weeks. And then there's one
12
COVID game too.
Yeah.
So he missed 4 games. So 4 out of 14 in your regular fantasy season, it's not that bad. So, but where he drafted, I guess you could say he underachieved. Maybe it's because I love Chubb. I have a Chubb for Chubb.
Now he only missed 3 games, is what I'm saying. Like that's including the COVID game.
No way. Because he didn't he what?
He missed week 6, week 7, and then week 10. I think.
Oh, then there was a bye week. Then there was a bye.
Yeah. Bye week was week 13.
Okay, because I'm tripping. Then I thought, what kind of injury did he have when he was out?
He had a calf injury.
There we go.
Oh, the calf. That's what it was. Yeah, it was only 2 weeks. You're right. Oh,
and
yeah,
look, he's still
let that miss a shitload of weeks.
And he's still so he finished as RB11 right behind Alvin Kamara. 219 attempts, 1,200 yards. So I mean, almost 5.5, per clip. 8 touchdowns on the ground. And then I mean, he didn't really get any pass work. 19 receptions, 172 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, never gets pass work, man. He's like Derrick Henry with that.
Yeah.
How many players had more rushing? How many players had more rushing yards than Derrick Henry this year? Who was it?
5.
5, but who was it?
Yeah.
Taylor, Mixon, Chubb, Harris, and Dalvin Cook.
I have Chubb as a top 6 pick next year. I would take Chubb still, like, in the first round. Like,
I mean, he was going. I mean, if he finished as a QB1, I mean, went to QB11 overall. He might have been getting drafted around that. I can't really remember where he was getting drafted, but he was
being drafted around the 1-2 turnaround in the back of the first round. Yeah,
you're right.
And that's probably where he goes again this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very, very few 1,000-yard rushers this year. Holy shit.
Yeah,
very
look,
few.
Derrick Henry is 6th in rushing still.
The ones that I mentioned are the only 1,000-yard rushers.
Right, yeah, because Henry didn't quite get there. Yeah, so it was 5. Yeah.
Henry's at the top of the non-1,000-yard rushers.
Yeah,
937, dude. 937 yards in what? 7 games? He had a bye week, right? In there too.
He played.
Yeah, and another shout out to Elijah Mitchell, man. He missed 6 games and almost got 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Hey,
his nickname is the Book of Eli.
I like it.
It's a good book too, not like the.
We'll allow
the
it.
book. I said that with the book of Ian Book. Whenever he had to play quarterback on that Monday night, let's just say that was a bad fucking book. That was a horror story.
I love.
As
Hold
a
on,
Saints
I
fan,
love Ian
I
Book. Hold on.
He did go over
I-
1,000 all-purpose, so I mean, he still hit that.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to say I just want to say I love Ian Book because I needed Tua to have a bad game, and I knew Ian Book wasn't gonna like compete much, so the game was gonna be moderate for Tua because I was playing against him to get to
bet
the
the
Super Bowl.
under. Bet the under.
That shit hit.
Yeah. Basically, anytime with the Saints, I've learned to bet the under. Like the past 4 or 5 Saints games, the under always hits because the Saints play good defense and the offense is in a tailspin right now. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, Coach, who's an underachieving running back you got here?
Underachieving running back. So I was on
Yeah, just in fantasy this year, like one of the guys
so
that you're
for-
on.
I would say I wasn't even on Saquon Barkley, but he was one of the major underachievers. He was running back 32 in PPR this year. And fun fact about him, Devontae Booker's only 2 spots lower than him and 1.2 points behind him in PPR.
Devontae Booker, he had I mean,
He did pretty
in
well.
a lot of, I was looking at their little metrics earlier, man. He had him in lesser yard. I mean, more yards before contact. He had more yards after contact. Like he just beat him on all the little, the little advanced analytics. He was better than Saquon Barkley, bro. Like shout out to Devontae Booker.
I mean,
And so
Booker
was-
had 579 yards rushing, 256 receiving. Barkley only had 563 rushing and 244. So I mean, he beat him on the yards.
He beat him in
Saquon
the
only
yards.
had one more touchdown. I have him down as Booker getting 5 more points than Barkley for the season.
Yeah, in PPR, it's 1.2 Booker's behind, but and if you take away week 3 and week 4, like there's no way you even want Barkley on your team because those were like his 2 20-point games. Everything else was terrible all year.
Yeah, his second half was just absolutely
Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, I mean, their situation's gonna change there a little bit. I could see them like making a play on one of these QBs, whether it's a Kirk Cousins or a Russell Wilson. That was some of the rumors. If there's any kind of improvement at QB, Saquon is gonna be next year's Joe Mixon. You know what I mean? Or
you probably get him in like the
Next
3rd or
year's
4th
Joe
round. Yeah.
Not 4th.
Yeah.
The 3rd is where I think he fought because, like, say they do trade for Russ or something. That's gonna put Saquon back in the
then yeah,
second round.
definitely. Yeah, then no, yeah,
Like,
he'll be
people are
second,
gonna get
third
hyped.
at that point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
but still, even how about this? Whoever had Saquon in your leagues, that person's not drafting Saquon next year.
No.
Oh,
No
yeah,
way.
same with CMC. If you had CMC this year, you're not drafting that mofo next year because he sold us down the river not once but twice. It's like the thing, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, yeah, I would not draft him again if I had him this year. But I mean, you never know what can happen. Look at Sergio Mix-a-Lot. It took him like 4 years to finally hit.
This
That's
is why I point this
really
out.
true.
I point this out because people they don't go back to the well. A lot of managers they hold grudges. You know what I mean? And
that's
like,
something managers got to stop doing. You can't.
Mixon
hold
I've
did
been
it
doing
3
this
years in
for
a row, though.
it took me a while to realize I can't hate motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
you gotta not hold
I love
grudges.
Joe
I've learned
Mixon,
that.
bro.
I've gotten to be a better fantasy player when I'm, don't hold grudges. Like you turn a new
like
leaf.
there might like everybody's hating CMC. I'm gonna have a lot of CMC next year at the back of the first round.
Yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah, say Alvin Kamara too. I mean, Huss brought him up as an
Alvin
underachiever.
Kamara.
He'll probably slip. To the
Alvin
end of the
Kamara
first.
might be a fucking second rounder. Like if
He
they
very
go,
well might. He very well might. I mean, and I'll take him there all day.
You feel
If he's
me?
a second rounder, I'll have 100%.
Yeah, I'll take
mean-
it 100%. And Mike Thomas, just think how far Mike Thomas is gonna fall. He might be, he'll be somebody people won't even want to take him in the first 8 rounds. But I'm gonna have a lot of Michael Thomas next year. I can tell you all that. A lot of Michael Thomas.
Man,
I
I
mean,
really
this
hope that. I really hope that
if
it'd be
it's
dope. if he looked at
Taysom
the Patriots.
Hill, what's the likely? You're our resident Saints guy. What's the likelihood of it being Taysom Hill or them not trying to go in for somebody?
Slim to none. I'll be real. Slim to none. I mean, they're going to either bring back Jameis or make a big swing for Russ or Watson. Probably more Russ.
If
I don't
it's
see them bringing
Jameis,
in Watson. I think
I'm
it's either
okay
Russ
with
or
Jameis.
Watson or Winston.
Ooh, watch them bring
Even
in
if
Jimmy
it's
Graham.
Jameis, bro,
Or
if
not
it's
Jimmy Graham,
Jameis, bro.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah, because someone brought this up to me. Him and Sean Payton are both Eastern Illinois alums. So, I mean, that's possible, but I still think they'll probably look to re-sign Jameis since he's familiar with the offense.
Yeah.
And Payton seems to like him.
Coming off the ACLs probably, it pretty much solidified him. You guys get him for a team friendly.
Yeah, we'll get him for the low. We'll get him for the low.
Yeah, get him for the low.
We'll get him for the low.
For real though.
Yeah, and then I think him and Mike Thomas, they'll gel well. I mean, I think Mike Thomas.
All you need is somebody to pepper Michael Thomas.
And Jameis will. Jameis will pepper him because we don't have anything else. I mean, we'll probably draft somebody, but I don't see a rookie coming in there and becoming a target hog over Michael Thomas. Assuming Michael Thomas is healthy and has his head screwed on straight, which isn't a guarantee, but hopefully.
I mean, he's Frankenstein, bro. He has all different kind of parts. You know what I mean?
They get the fucking ankle part fixed, bro. What are you doing? You missed like 2 years with that shit.
He got the bolts sticking out of his neck, bro.
I know, right?
The tallest head in the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that he does.
Listen, what is he? 6'3"? It's really all his head. His head is like this tall.
Yeah, and then he started growing the fro on top of it. So I was like, damn, dude, you already got a big head.
He's like 9 feet tall, bro.
Oh, what? Man, I'm telling y'all though, get him for the low, man. Because the Saints offense has nowhere to go but up. I feel like. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be Taysom next year. I really don't. I mean, I like Taysom, but he's just not a good enough passer.
So anybody else got any more underachieving ass shitty receivers? Let's go to the overachievers.
Yeah, for receivers, underachievers. Oh, I thought we're still on running backs. So
oh my bad, I'm on shrooms.
Overachievers for the running backs. I mean, for the wide receivers.
Yeah, well, we can.
Hold on. Did we over and under already achievers for running back?
Yeah.
We were just on under.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, then one more I'll throw in.
We were shitting on
Mike Davis due to corduroy to pimp.
Yeah, Mike Davis was nothing.
Corduroy to pimp, freaking shit on him.
Okay, if you were, I'm gonna say 3 names because they were in this little range of ADP. It was that bitch Carol Gaskin, Mike Davis, and Chase Edmonds. If you got any of those 3, you probably didn't do good. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you should have just drafted like
those
Cooper Kupp right there instead.
The 4th and 5th round. You know, in the single
or Jamar Chase, yeah.
Waddle was going in that range.
Waddle, yeah. T. Higgins, yeah. You could have had so much Debo. You could have had so much.
Okay, see, that's where I'm going. That's the perfect.
Yeah, let's pivot.
Overachieving receivers, my man Debo Samuel, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This motherfucker
was drafted after Ayuk in pretty much 100% of leagues.
Yeah,
Ayuk, man. And here's the thing:
it was horrible.
He literally had like a less than, he had like a 2.5 yard career ADOT going into last year. I mean, going into this year. Guess what his average depth of target this year was? 8 yards, or average depth of reception. 8 yards, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, because he was catching on the lines with it.
And he had more rushing. He had the rushing, all the rushing shit, man.
Yeah, he was basically for Shanahan's corduroy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he had more rushing than receiving touchdowns.
He was. Listen, man. This is why I'm really upset. I had 0 Debo in 21 leagues. And he was a guy that was just like people were reluctantly drafting him. I'll take Debo right here. You know what I mean?
And I'll be able to keep him in the keeper league in the 9th round. I'm fucking stoked about it next year.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that's what's up, man. And you know what's crazy with Debo?
I would be weary about next year though, because here's one thing. At least we'll be able to see it.
Yeah, he's gonna be overdrafted and redrafted.
Well, you know why though? Because Jimmy, he did all this with Jimmy. You know
it's going to be Lance next year.
At least we're going to have a couple game sample size with this game, and if we get into the playoffs or if and when, because then at least we'll be able to see the uses with Debo and Lance, because Lance with Debo, he did have that one big game against Seattle, but it was really just one busted play. You know what I mean? And Debo like took it to the house for like 70. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a little bit of scrutiny. You know, some of these numbers could be skewed. You know what I'm saying? And or in this case, it could be like obsolete if you have a whole different QB when you're looking at Debo's production with Jimmy. You know what I mean? And now you have Lance. So that's one thing I'll be worried. He'd definitely be overdrafted next year, though. But shout out to my man Debo.
Right. Yeah, I wish I'd have kept him in my freaking keeper league, and I had freaking Calvin Ridley. I mean, who could have predicted that? I mean,
if we go back, if we go back to the beginning of the year, we're doing that 10 times out of 10.
Oh shit, yeah. My keepers were Calvin Ridley and fucking McLaurin.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley and CD Lamb were my keeper receivers. So I mean, look, if I can't bitch at myself too much. I mean, I had to do that. I mean, Calvin Ridley. I mean, prior to his mysterious absence, was still putting up decent numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
So, oh well, yeah. I guess my biggest overachiever. I mean, I'll just be Captain Obvious here, Cooper Kupp. I mean, he was drafted as a freaking 4th, 5th round guy. Everyone's thinking Woods would probably be more valuable than him with Stafford, but he basically became Stafford's new Megatron. I mean, he put up Megatron numbers this year. I mean, just ridiculous, man. I had him in 2 leagues. One of them had a heartbreak semis, lost the other. I won my ship, both money leagues. And I was just thinking at the time, something in my gut told me this is a cash money pick. I remember I reached on him in both leagues. I took him around before his ADP, but I was just like, this is a cash money pick. I have a good feeling about this with Stafford. And sure enough, it hit, and it hit even way more than I could have predicted.
He only had 1 game under 15 points the entire season.
Yeah. Mind-boggling. I mean, he had been a solid receiver prior to this, but nothing anywhere close to this kind of production. I mean, I remember I was debating actually in the money league. I was like, who should I pick, Cooper Kupp or Amari Cooper? And I was like, fuck it, give me Cooper Kupp, man. Fuck Amari Cooper. The dude's way too inconsistent.
Cooper Kupp flashed though. I mean, at one point I remember he's like the number 2 overall, and then he tore his ACL. You know, so I mean, that was the reason why I guess I was off him, because he always would get hurt. This was the first year he kept it all together for the entire season. He fucking killed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that was a cash money move. If I'd have taken Amari Cooper over Cooper Kupp, I probably wouldn't have won that league, because I took CMC first overall in that league and still managed to win it. But if I'd have made the mistake of taking Cooper over Kupp, I would have probably not won the money. So Cooper Kupp, give me money. He freaking got it done.
Such a savage. And I'll bring up Jamar Chase, and then we'll do your question after this, MJ23, because he definitely wasn't being drafted as the wide receiver 5. And man, I mean, he had a couple off games there.
White lines on the football. Oh my God.
People are drafting over him.
Oh yeah, Higgins got drafted over him. I mean, might have been some Tyler Boyd drafted over him. Who knows?
Whenever all that stock drop news happened, he freaking dropped like WR30 something. I was just like, y'all stop tripping. He's fine. I'm glad I had multiple shares of him, because man, he was just straight fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he started off kind of, up and down, but then did he take off?
Nah, not even, because I had that idea in my head too. But the first game of the season, he threw up 101 and a touchdown.
Yeah, but what did he do the next game?
Yeah, he was a bit inconsistent, but I mean, I can't complain. I mean, he had a couple.
I agree.
2 out of his first 4 games, he had 13 points. So if that's underachieving for a rookie in the first 4 games, I give you that all day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, he was one of my highest. Everyone was so off of him just because of the fact that he took a whole fucking year off. I don't think anybody who really watched college football should understand how dominant this person was at his position. Like he was.
What? I mean,
he was looking like shit in preseason, is what it was too. And when the preseason happened, he started tanking even more.
Because look at Justin Jefferson,
like he's dropping balls.
Yeah, white lines on the ball. Because let me tell you something. I mean, I'm from South Louisiana, so I kept up with LSU. Like Justin Jefferson was solid. when I saw the kind of rookie year he had, but Jamar Chase was the alpha dog there. Jamar Chase was even better. So I was like, just wait till Jamar Chase gets to the fucking league. And sure enough, here we
when
are.
Jamar Chase steps on the field, he has the swag and presence of a number one wide receiver.
He literally wears
the
number
guy.
one.
Yeah, and Jefferson, he's the guy. But like, he's also on a run first team. You know what I mean? Like, it literally took them like the middle of the season where they're like, Clint Kubiak's dumbass came out and was like, man, we need to throw it more at Jefferson. Yeah, you probably should. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a game changer.
Yeah, and like, Joe Burrow, for what it's worth, you could tell that they really love this kid. Obviously, drafted him first overall, but you could tell they love him because they're like, who do you want, man? He's like, man, give me my guy Chase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, fuck Penei Sewell. I don't need to protect.
Coming off an ACL.
Coming off an ACL. You thought he'd
coming off an ACL, wouldn't you be like, man, we need to
route.
protect your ass, bro? Shut the fuck up. You ain't getting no Jamar Chase, bro. You know what I mean? You need Penei Sewell. You know what I mean? And then they don't do that. They go all
in. You guys, they had some a brass set for that. I mean,
I will say this.
He has been. I mean,
what's awesome about this situation too? What's awesome is that like now you have this high flying offense, and now you're winning, and you're a draw. And now you can, when I say you're a draw, you can bring in people in free agency now. Now you can bring in linemen. You know what I mean? Before
you
you're getting like the bottom. Nobody wanted to go there before. You know what I mean?
Defensive players. I mean, you can bring people in, and then for like as a draw, fans are going to want to pack Cincy. Cincy's going to be a sellout.
Yeah, Cincy probably get a new stadium pretty soon here, and maybe in the next 2-3 years, like they'll get the agreement going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My buddy just checked out a Bengals game. Actually, he's a Chiefs fan. Yeah, he went to the one this week. Yeah, he said he.
Did he have the spaghetti? I think
I need to ask him.
It's called like Skyline Spaghetti or Sky.
Oh yeah, Skyline Chili. Oh yeah, I had it.
Skyline Chili though.
Yeah, I went.
It's like
he
sweet chili, and
yeah, I had it.
They put it over noodles. Is it good?
Oh yeah. I went to the Cincinnati Reds St. Louis Cardinals game this summer. Yeah, I had it on a hot dog.
It's like the Cincinnati thing.
Yep, Skyline Chili. Yep, on a dog, baby. Yeah, it was solid.
Oh, on a dog even. Okay, because in the Bengals stadium, they put that motherfucker on noodles. Like it's like
they put on noodles. Okay, yeah, I went to the baseball. Yeah, the baseball, hot dogs, baseball. Yeah, I got it on the. Yeah, that was a fun day, man. We were just drinking and it was a good time.
You said there was a Cincinnati Reds game out there in Cincy?
Yeah, Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, so it was right near right near in that area because it's my buddy lives in Kentucky, but I mean, just a little bit north of that's Ohio. So it was about an hour drive. We crossed the border. We were in Ohio, walked around Cincy. It's a pretty cool city out there. It was a good time.
Cincinnati, give me money.
Yeah, they're gonna be good for years to come, man. Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Sergio Mix-a-Lot, Tyler Boyd. That's like a Madden team, bro. Like that's insane.
They're new Chiefs for fantasy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, because they've got Kareem Hunt with Mixon, except that he's gonna stay. He's not gonna.
Mixon to me reminds me of Le'Veon Bell in his prime because he actually models his game after Le'Veon Bell. He wore the little armband just like him and everything, bro. And low key, this is what pissed me off about Joe Mixon this year. Is like, why in the fuck they don't have him out there running more routes? Like he's a phenomenal route runner.
Yeah, I wish he'd had more catches. Yeah, because I was thinking with Zach Taylor came from the McVay coaching tree. I was hoping pepper him so he could have kind of he could have the kind of year like Todd Gurley had a few years ago.
2019, Joe Mixon really came on the second half of the year. And,
2019. I was thinking Mixon was out. I thought that was going to be Mixon's breakout. I was thinking, Zach Taylor. I was thinking Mixon would be like Gurley. Yeah, he got hurt, but he had a big second half. I remember that I had a bunch of Mixon shares because he's going to be the breakout. But then he got hurt, and then by the time he got healthy,
and then 2020 he gets hurt again too. That was another
Yeah,
thing too. Is
yeah.
2020.
Oh, I'm glad I was off him in 2020. Yeah, he
Yeah.
killed people in 2020.
And he had the big game in 2020 also against the Jags, where it was like it looked like, man, if he can be that 30 touch guy, like, you know what I mean. But obviously that wouldn't last long. But I mean, it was just so weird this year. There was no real reason to me why they didn't throw him the ball more. Like, you know, there was no like, it wasn't like due to game script or do this or due to like, you know, it just maybe it's just Joe Burrow likes to go down the field. Joe Burrow likes to
he's
make
a
plays
gunslinger,
down
yeah.
the field.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
a big show Joe. I mean, he puts on the big time numbers and just like, I mean, yeah. And when you've got weapons like Chase and Higgins, can you blame him for wanting to go down the field? I mean, you got elite fucking weapons there.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on a second. Hey, Huss.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you something. What do you think that lineup that we set is at right now?
I don't know because I didn't use that lineup.
8th place, baby.
Nice.
You
That
didn't
the
plug
one,
him in
Basic.
everything?
What is it in the premium one or in the elite
Hold
one?
on. So yeah, it's 8th place. So it's 8th place and all. But the elite
Okay.
I changed to Jokic, and that's an 8th, and then the other ones are still an 8th too. And that's with Bobby Portis
the
getting in foul
Joker.
trouble.
Yeah, crushing.
Ooh.
Nice.
You know what, man?
Let's go, Craig.
I need to just backpack y'all, man.
Let's go, Craig.
I need to backpack y'all, man. On
Yeah.
this basketball shit. Yeah. All right. So who else? We're on overachieving receivers. Where we're on right now?
Yeah, who you got, Coach? Who's your overachiever?
I gotta
Shit.
think now.
Mine's gonna be Brandon Cook, the one guy.
Yeah, that's a good Aquaman. Yeah,
is-
Brandon
is
Cook, man.
quarterback
Yep.
proof. Anywhere he goes, it doesn't matter who he plays with. He's still gonna be. Was he a 1,000-yard receiver this year? He has to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he missed the game with COVID, but yeah, I think he's got to be 1,000.
Yeah, I think he's got
He's
to
been
be
so good. I think he's like wide receiver.
Yeah,
16 or
Peacock
something
would
like
know,
that.
but yeah, let me check. Yeah, he's got
wide
to be.
receiver 16. Like he.
Oh yeah, he's over at
1,011.
1,000. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that 1,000. Wow, baby.
Somebody that everybody passes over. Someone that everybody overthinks, or you know, they're just like this guy. You know, it's like, who is he gonna be?
Yeah,
playing
I
with?
ain't gonna lie. I'd see Brandon Cooks in the draft, and you know what I say? Fuck Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
swerve,
Love it.
hard swerve. Yeah, see, yeah, with no
Yeah, it was a
Deshaun
hard
Watson.
pass.
Yep, but anyone, I remember I was thinking I had a draft. He got auto drafts. It's like, fuck, I got Brandon Cook. Shit. But then guess what? He did really well. I was like, I'll take it.
That's
I'll take
destiny.
it.
Like I meant,
Yeah.
I meant
The fantasy gods gifted me there. That was for sure.
They bestowed upon you Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, it's like it's about time. Normally, auto pick screws me, so I was like, it's about time I get one go in my favor. Oh yeah, well, actually, joke was, you know, it's funny. They kind of evened out because the next pick was fucking Will Fuller, so Will Awfuller was right
Will
after.
Awfuller.
Fantasy gods
But at
give
least
it,
I got.
they take it.
Oh yeah, they give it and they take it. Yeah, they even out. They're fair. I'll give them that. They're usually fair. Although some years it seems like they're not. Some years it's like they just want to play with you. But
Yeah.
that's just the way it
MJ
goes.
23. Is this like a super draft question? Is this a what cash
What
lineup
is
are you
it?
trying to play in?
Need cash line advice.
Yeah, what they say, need help, y'all. DKS, so I'm assuming DraftKings. Took Burrow and Chase, and now I'm stuck. QB first off. Do I go with Cousins or Jimmy G, dirt cheap, or Josh Allen for the max price QBs?
I
So
mean,
you're looking at
it's all about roster construction with these type of questions because the salary, you know, we're talking salaries here. So if you're gonna go the Josh Allen route, he's not only going to be extremely chalk, but he's going to hinder you on filling in some of these other positions. You know what I mean? And like the week 18, which is, you know, prior to years before this was week 17. It's always the trickiest because, you know, I really just want to find guys that's going to play the whole game or across a mixture of guys that are going to play the whole game and guys that are in meaningful games. So I do like the Josh Allen play here. I'm not on the Jimmy G or the Kirk Cousins play. I don't like players that are injured or coming off of COVID. They never performed this year.
That COVID thing is
Coming
what
up.
scares me about Cousins for
Yeah.
sure.
And
And
then
they got
depends,
no reason
like-
to play, and they're going up against the Bears.
and they got
who-
Chicago. Chicago's defense is fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
well,
yeah,
it is in Minnesota. I mean, if I had to pick if you want to stack Burrow and Chase, wait, Burrow though.
That was
Burrow,
last week. That was
they're
this
not.
week.
Yeah, they're not playing this
Yeah.
week. They're resting them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're resting them. So, I'd
I'll
probably
play Josh
say,
Allen.
yeah, Allen the Stallion. Yeah, because they got a division title to go for.
If he
Although
wanted to go cheap, how about this? If he wants to go cheaper,
I'd rather
in salary,
Cousins over Jimmy. That was gonna be my point. I
Huntley,
think
dude.
Cousins over Jimmy.
Well, how about
Let's
this?
just go Huntley.
If you're gonna go cheap, I'll
Mac
probably go
Jones.
Taysom Hill. I like
Or
Taysom Hill.
Hill, yeah, Taysom Hill. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's actually my
play
top
Atlanta.
DFS value this week. Yeah, against that.
And
Atlanta,
it's a meaningful game. Also, I'm not mad at the Mac Jones. Who they playing? They're playing the Dolphins, huh?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think he could do fairly well against them.
Yeah,
Man.
but see, you can run the last two
I
games.
mean, I'd take
not the last two
Taysom
games.
over him, but I'm just saying if you
Last
need a
week has
dirt
been
cheap
hard to run on
option.
them. Actually, it's been hard to run on the Dolphins all year. What the fuck am I
Yeah,
saying?
so they might
So,
throw.
maybe-
I mean, they'll be forced to throw. Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, the tight ends. Like I think Jones.
See
could
that
do
that
fairly
don't sound appealing to me. You know what I mean? When you start naming all the options that he's throwing.
I know. I mean,
I'll take
it's not pretty. It's
I'll take Josh
Belichick. Of
Allen.
course, it's ugly. I mean, it's ugly,
Yeah.
but he's
But
cheap. I
that's
mean,
gonna
if
be a
you got
lower
to think of
scoring
value,
game.
I mean, he's cheap.
I'm
That's
going
gonna
Josh
be
Allen.
bad.
There's a lot of crap games out there and a lot of players that are going to get sat like midway through these games. But MJ23, you got to get on Super Draft Pro, man. I mean, DraftKings is old news. Like Super Draft Pro is where it's at. Use the link sdhustler.com that I just put in the description. You'll win way more money than you will at DraftKings.
Craig, there's an opportunity that we can get to first tonight.
Yeah, even with Portis. But
The Joker.
there's another cheap quarterback out there too. You could look at Justin Fields for $5,400 against the Vikings defense.
There you go.
I like it, but it's also another game that's probably going to be lower scoring. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Jets Bills game will be lower scoring, but the scoring is going to be coming from the Bills. They need the division. That's where I lean. Cheap, even cheaper than that. I'd probably take than Josh Allen. Probably take Matthew Stafford then if we're still going to go a little pricier. I like Matthew Stafford. My Niners secondary, they're in the 20s. As far as out of 32 teams, I can't remember exactly where, but I'm ballparking. But I know we're bad. You know what I mean? He's had 2 bad weeks in a row, throwing multiple picks. I think he's in a great bounce back spot, divisional matchup. You know what I mean? Let's go. I like Matt.
Yeah. How about this? How about Justin Herbert in prime time with a playoff berth on the line?
Well, see, here's the thing: is like when you on DraftKings, this is going to be the main slate. So those Sunday night games.
Yeah.
And then
that
same
don't
thing.
count.
Yeah, they those are showdowns or standalone games,
Oh,
solo
okay,
games, whatever you
okay.
want to call them. Yeah,
Faux show.
yeah. What's
I
called
still like that.
showdown?
What about Huntley?
Who do
Yeah,
the
if
Ravens got?
Lamar's out again.
The
although,
Ravens
yeah,
got
they-
Cincy, right? No, got Cincy. They got
No, they got
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Yeah, I might want to do that.
I mean,
We don't even know who it's going to be as of right now. They said Lamar's got a shot to play this week.
The Steelers are 32. They're like 31 or 32 against the run, and like the Ravens don't really have a couple running backs that can rub together. You know what I'm saying? I think Huntley would be in a good spot here. I think and you know what? He'll be in DraftKings. He's gonna carry low ownership if with all the news that Lamar might play, and then if he becomes a game time decision, no one's gonna play Huntley, and then Lamar, if he doesn't go, no one will have him, and you can swap him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How much is Lamar? What's the price on Lamar?
Listen, he's gonna be more expensive than Huntley. That's for sure. I think Huntley's like
Lamar's $7K.
See, that's a lot, bro.
Yeah, and Huntley's like 57.
That's a
Bro,
lot.
that's a lot, bro.
No, because listen, when you fuck with DraftKings and stuff, I mean, you get into the 7,000 range. That's what I mean. These are the top players.
It's
And
cheap
he's
for
not a
Lamar,
top-
but
He's not a top player though. That's the thing. Of course, yeah, he's cheap for Lamar. Matter of fact, the price should be even with him being hurt. If he wasn't hurt, that price would make me want to play him if he wasn't hurt. You know what I mean? Because like you said, he's usually more expensive than that. You know what I mean?
mhm. But with the ankle, who knows if he even runs much? If he
Yeah,
does,
and
then
if
he
he's
can
not
play.
running, I don't want anything to
He's
do
not
with
good.
Lamar. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, fuck Lamar when he's not running.
Yeah, that's it. I noticed this with DraftKings, right? Like, they don't really adjust much for like coming off injury. Like, if it's a superstar, probably because they figure about name value. Lamar,
They
they're
released
still
the numbers. Hold on, they released the numbers on a Monday. The salaries they come out on a Monday. So if you have a player, that's why there's ultimate chalk plays by the time you get to Sunday. Like, say there's like Dearness Johnson against the Patriots that one game, right? Like Chubb, he's a late. I mean, he gets COVID or whatever it was late in the week, and like he was already, the prices were already out the prior Monday. So Dearness Johnson's in a smash buy and he's hella cheap. But then he becomes ultimate chalk. Like everybody has him. You know what I mean?
that's that's the catch to that shit, because it's like, you can
But
you think
also-
you're finessing them, but then it becomes chalk at that point.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Sometimes you have to have, if you don't win if you don't have certain chalk. You know what I mean? Like, like for example, there's gonna be a lot of people that have Josh Allen this week. He's playing the Jets. You know what I mean?
Fuck, do not ever play Jordan Love.
No,
Jordan.
do not
We
play
had this
Jordan.
discussion like when you guys were like, he might be
He's
good.
playing,
I'm like,
even though he's
no,
playing
he can't even
Detroit,
hit a fucking
I'm
corner.
still not playing.
he can't hit
and
the
then
broadside of a barn.
You could find a cheaper. I mean, you could find a cheap guy at QB, and maybe not necessarily Jordan Love, and you'll find an okay play. I'd rather play Huntley. And Huntley's like what? Probably only like $2,000.
Jalen Hurts gonna play.
I don't
think
know.
so.
If he doesn't play, I'd start Gardner Minshew.
Minshew to Ginsu.
Yes, I would, because he's probably gonna
Fucking
throw
right.
like, I love the Ginsu. The Ginsu's just fancy.
The Ginsu give me money. He just got that swag.
He's
to him,
fantasy,
man. You
bro.
gotta go with the Ginsu. Yeah, he really is. Like, he gets it done, and he's a cheap value every time. Like, he's always cheap in drafts. Like,
No.
like,
He's not cheap. He's inexpensive.
yeah,
he's the
right.
He's the min.
He's the Ginsu.
He's the
He's
minimum.
really good, and he just doesn't cost much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
JC got it right, because he just like, but it was funny. Cause I remember that he was saying that.
I wonder what
The
Trey
goddamn-
Lance's price too.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good play too. I like that.
Like
play too.
55.
I like a mobile.
Yeah, I'd
QB.
play him at 55.
He's gonna get mobile against the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Houston, for what it's worth, they're giving up the least yards to Russian QBs. You know, they played guys
about
like Josh
Davis
Allen,
Mills?
Kyler Murray. Huh?
What about Davis Mills?
The Judge? Who they playing? Oh,
Yeah.
they playing
Judge Davis plays Tennessee.
Tennessee. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'd rather
that
play.
either.
Who's playing? I'd rather play Tannehill, if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Just
Is
so
it gonna be Tanner Poops?
Tannehill the
playing
first
Tannehill.
time.
For the record, I'm not playing Tannehill, but I'm just saying I'd rather over the Judge.
He's pretty awful the first time against the Texans. Threw 3 picks, got sacked a bunch
Yeah,
of
they
times.
lost. They lost that game.
Yeah,
They
they're gonna
lost
lose
to the
again this week
Texans.
too.
They lost, and to think they'd have home field advantage if it wasn't for that.
For real.
Jesus.
They lost to the
Sick,
Texans
man.
And the
Hey, someone-
Jets.
and the Jets.
And they
not
and they
going
had
to
Henry.
Super Bowl. Y'all tripping. Tennessee is fugazi. That team is not good, man. They are fugazi.
Listen, bro. If they how about this? When they beat the Texans, right, and then the Chiefs, you know, everyone around them takes care of business. They're going to be Tennessee still be number one. If they can get a 65% Derrick Henry back, you know what I mean? I love their chances. Good coming off a bye week. If they can get the bye week, bro, you got 2 games to the big show. I'm just saying, if they get it, bro, it's crazy.
They ain't getting it. There's no way.
I mean, the Texans can pull off the upset, and then the Chiefs take care of business. The Chiefs get the number one.
right.
like-
That's what I'm thinking happens.
I
Oh, who
don't
has the
see
tiebreaker
I don't-
as of now? Who has the tiebreaker as of?
Tennessee. It's Tennessee. They
Tennessee
beat the
currently-
Chiefs.
Oh yeah, they did. They did. Holy shit!
But here's the thing, too. Before it goes head, this is hella stupid. I don't like how they do this. Before it goes head to head, right? They look to the division. So if you look at the Chiefs, they've only lost one time in their division. The one game they dropped to the Chargers early on. Everyone else, they swept them. So you look at the Titans, they did the same thing. They lost once to the Texans. So it would go to head, and they beat the Chiefs. So they would be the number one seed.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking the Judge might be able to pull it off. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm not.
The Judge Davis Mills Lanes, let's get it on.
I'm thinking he might be able to get it on because I feel like Tennessee is just so fugazi. Like I mean, if they get the bye week, well, then I guess then they get it. But it's just they'd be to me the worst number one seed in a long time. They are not a good
schedule,
team.
man. Schedule. You see, here's the thing.
They are not a good.
I'm not going to say
team.
schedule. I'm going to say division because their schedule was actually kind of rough. They had to play the Bills, Patriots, Chiefs.
Yeah, they're a smart football team. I'll give them that. They're very smart. They're not talented, but goddamn, they're smart. And that's a lot to do with Mike Vrabel.
Really good, bro.
Yeah, they're very well coached. Very well coached. Because, I mean, that's what I was thinking against my Saints.
I think Mike Vrabel's coach of the year.
Yeah, he should be, honestly. He should be because that team fucking sucks. And he's got them to be a number one seed in the AFC. That's crazy because it was week 10 against my Saints, and they barely beat us by 2 points. And the dude, like, I mean, we struggled, and they struggled. Like, it was just kind of a struggle thing. It was Simeon at quarterback. And the goddamn, I mean, he choked at the end. But I was just thinking the whole time, this Tennessee outfit is not good. But guess what? They're smart. They're smart. They're not good, though. They're not talented. I feel like eventually that if you're not talented, it's going to eventually burn you in the playoffs. Because obviously the playoffs is the best of the best.
You know when Tannehill got his bag last year, I was like, oh, now he's going to play shitty. And he played phenomenal. You know what I mean? This year he played shitty. The whole team... man, you know what's crazy is like I was shitting on the Tennessee Titans defense. And then I'm like, then I'm really looking at it because they're playing against my Niners, and I was like, oh shit, they're the fucking number one run defense. You know what I mean? Like it was like, like in the trenches, they were still good. And as they say, you win the games in the trenches, bro. If you can run the ball or you can control the line of scrimmage, you could stop the run, you're gonna be in games. And then that's what they have been.
Yeah. How about peep this scenario? Okay, so let's just say they get the 1 seed, and then they have to face. I'm just gonna throw it out there: the Colts in the divisional round. Who y'all think takes it? Will the Colts get their revenge, or will Tennessee just keep doing their thing?
I think I've never seen. I've seen Carson Wentz for about 5 minutes of a playoff game. Against the Seahawks, he got a concussion, and then it was goddamn. It was what's his name? Josh McCown
on a broken leg.
On a broken leg, and he was so happy to get a play. He cried at the end of the game in the press conference because he was like, "Man, he was so happy to finally play in a playoff game." And you know what I mean. But anyways, my point is like, Carson Wentz is just the guy who hands the ball off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It'll basically be JT versus Derrick Henry because Tannehill's the same shit. They're both just handoff motherfuckers at this point. So it's basically who will do better, JT or Henry? It'll be the battle of the dump trucks or the big truck. I will say this:
Indy's defense and their offensive line and their run game so scary that they could beat any of these teams in the playoff atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like, and Carson Wentz. Here's the thing, man. Carson Wentz is a mistake waiting to happen. He's trying to turn the ball over. Matter of fact, what was the one touchdown he scored last week? It was a ricochet that T.Y. Hilton caught. Listen, man, you better have a great relationship with Lady Luck, Carson Wentz, because I don't think you do. Because if you look at Carson Wentz's history, he has the worst luck. He's our MVP season, tears the ACL. Then this piece of shit, Nick Foles, goes on fucking win the whole thing after he done took him more than half the way. You know what I mean? Like, Carson Wentz has the worst luck ever. It's going to be that defense and that line. And Frank Reich, too, man. You know what's sad is like Frank Reich has it in his history. And he's awesome to me, to be honest. But Frank Reich's history as a backup to Jim Kelly All those years losing all those Super Bowls. Does he just have it in him to get like far and never finish? You know what I mean?
All right. How about this scenario? Tennessee gets the bye week number, and then they have to run into Justin Herbert and the Chargers.
I mean, see, okay. What they do best, what they do best is stop the run. So Eckler, but you can still use Eckler in the passing game, right? Okay, if they have Derrick Henry back, you 100% are smashing the Chargers because their run defense, ass.
Terrible.
What comes out of ass? Shit.
Poop.
Poop. We'll allow it.
That's what you used to say. You're like, what comes out of ass? Poop.
Well, it just depends what time of the day. Who knows who's watching? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, this is the more likely scenario. Actually, it'll be the 2-3 will be the Chiefs, Bills, and then the 1-4 will be the Titans, Bengals. What about Joe Burrow and the Bengals facing off against Tennessee?
You know what's crazy?
I think they'll beat Tennessee.
Oh, I think so too, man. They're gonna whoop Tennessee ass. I'm telling you, Burrow is gonna rip Tennessee a new asshole.
Secondary is their weakness. The Tennessee Titans secondary, their corners are their weakness, and then and they do everything like the Patriots do because obviously he's from that mold, Vrabel. So they always mix it up with man and press and zone. Listen, bro, you're not going to stop these receivers. You know what I mean? If you're Tennessee.
Yeah. They're
going
to get destroyed.
I
will say, though, they would be the most – Tennessee is the most prepared for every team. You know what I mean? They're the most – you know what they did against my Niners? They're like, okay, they run the ball a ton. We're gonna limit that, and we're going to make Jimmy beat us. And then, Debo gets the one tug or whatever, and, he still has a big game, but – Jimmy made a ton of mistakes through a couple nasty picks. This is what they banked on. They're like, that's what the Patriots do, right? Belichick, and Variable comes from that elk. Whatever it is you do best, that's going to be their emphasis of stopping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he comes from that Belichick tree. Yeah.
If they get Derrick Henry, a guy where you could own time of possession and make opposing offenses one-dimensional because they're playing from behind, you know what I mean? And they're losing time of possession, and they have to throw the ball. Like, that's what helps their secondary up because their front seven, their sack totals and pressures, everything, it's hella up tenfold compared to last year. You know what I mean? Like Tennessee, they got to figure it out this year up front. You know what I mean?
You know why?
Harold? No Clowney?
No, D'Amico Autry signed him.
Oh, Autry, there you go.
And then Simmons and Landry both took that next step up too. And then the rookie undrafted free agent nose tackle Naquan Jones out of Michigan State. That kid's been playing really well too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rook. Yeah, you ain't lying, man. And I think a lot of people.
We're going to get Craig into one of these IDP leagues next year. By the way, Huss.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
He's into that shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Landry's their leading sacker with 12, and then Autry second with 9.
What? What's this?
They're sack totals.
Oh,
lifting John Deere tractors. What the hell?
Yeah, he had to carry it in on his back.
Oh yeah, Henry, man. Yeah, he's tractor over
there. Bro, he's
You
know why? Because they call him Tractorcito.
Right.
My favorite picture ever is when they're at Alabama and Derrick Henry just like looking out at the field, looking all dumbfounded, and shit, like looking like a dumb guy. And all of a sudden, there's Mark Ingram in his Letterman jacket, like looking over at him, like, oh fuck, he's just about to take my job. Look at this fucking monster truck. He's so Mark Ingram looks like a little guy just standing next to Henry. It's so funny.
Hey man, I'm telling you, that whole thing with him carrying the John Deere because they call him Tractorcito, bro. And you know what I'm saying? He throws the team on his back. This is all metaphorical right here. You know what I mean? And this is why I respect the Titans, because whenever you spoke of the Titans, no one spoke of anything but like Derrick Henry and like in the Vrabel's great coaching. They'd be like, Derrick Henry is the heart and soul of this team. He ain't been there for over half the year now. You know what I mean?
Yet they still might get the number 1 seed.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's that. Shit's crazy.
It's the thing is that like Deontay Foreman and the rest of their running backs have held water. I gotta say, I mean, I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect Derrick Henry.
I love
but,
Deontay
I mean,
Foreman.
that's a great system. Like, it's a great system.
I love Deontay Foreman, bro, because he was always one of the guys I was like unnecessarily
Rooting for?
big on in fantasy. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
he was
when
with the
he-
Texans. Yeah.
I'm like, fuck
Yeah, for
Lamar.
sure.
I'm like, fuck Lamar Miller. That guy sucks. Watch this Deontay Foreman guy though, bro. And I remember
Right.
I started him that game. He died. He was having a big game.
Rest
He
in
was on like
peace.
he was on like a 57-yard house car or some bullshit like that. He just ran into the house and he exploded his Achilles in the end zone, like literally.
Ugh.
Yep. It was a pretty long run too.
It was like a 57-yarder, like a 7. You know what? As legend has it, was the fucking 80-yarder. It just keep every time
And
we
he
tell a story,
died.
he gets more yards, and he fucking died. You know what I mean? And then,
Why do they always die on us?
listen, man, because they're dying for us, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at it. Listen, it took him a couple years to come back too. Matter of fact, Marlon Mack, he came back looking, like way better than first year back off an Achilles than Foreman did. Foreman, he never even came back to the Texans, and and he sat there with the Titans for a cool minute, and then he actually got on the field in 2020, and he actually did some things. So that's why, and then he got released and was picked up by the Falcons in the offseason. And then, first chance, he was sitting there on the practice squad. And then once the goddamn Derrick Henry thing happened, the Titans were like, get him back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Adrian Peterson fucking sucks. So, yeah. Might as well get him back.
And I will say, before we'll move on to the tight ends, I guess, because that one will be quick, and then we'll close the show out. But I just want to say, man, like, when we were going over, like, some of these overachievers, whether it was quarterbacks or receivers, like, like how many Brandon Cooks was what, 16, you said? What was he? One of y'all brought it up. Brandon Cook, but he had over 1,000. Like, and then there's only 4 running backs that went over 1,000, but there's 15 or 16 receivers that did. We're in the craziest pass happy league ever. The rules apply.
Arena
help
football.
it.
So Cooks was wide receiver 18,011 yards, 6 touchdowns, 87 receptions.
Okay, yeah, but this is just this is not yardage, this is just in fantasy. This is in fantasy, or is this like yards and like just in?
They had a bunch of 1,000-yard receivers for fantasy.
Yeah, he was wide receiver 18 just in fantasy, not in receiving. You want me to check in receiving yards?
Well, I wanted to see how many receivers got over 1,000 yards.
18.
18. So it was okay. Wow, it's fucking amazing. We're throwing the rock.
Yep, Big Mike Williams, Hunter Renfrow, Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett.
DJ Moore even went over 1,000. Wow.
Yeah.
Ass. And look at
Waddle could go over 1,000 if he gets 12 yards.
DJ Moore's not ass.
Even more
Quarterbacks are ass.
Game season.
No. I'm saying, like, okay, DJ Moore he was definitely front loaded. He was definitely front loaded. Then he was like consistent on his baseline, which was like 40 or 50 yards, like, like from like week 7 and on, right? So
look at who his quarterbacks are.
I understand. I understand it. DJ Moore was one of my. I had a ton of DJ Moore this year. That might have been me a little shitting on him because I'm mad at him. You know what I mean? But it's not his fault.
Yeah, my question is, why is DJ Moore allergic to the end zone? Why does DJ Moore suck at scoring touchdowns? His touchdown total, I pulled it up here. He's been in the league 4 years now.
Conversion look though.
2-4-4-4. He's yet to score over 4 touchdowns in his career. Why does he? Why does the man hate touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean, he was with
Cam
hates
touchdowns.
So and then he was
crazy.
Space Sam. You know what I mean?
The first 3 years he's in the league, the Panthers as a team threw for like 37 total touchdowns in 3 years.
Yeah,
so he had 10 of those.
The team
DJ Moore came in that league a couple years too late, man. He was like, if only he could have been there like in 2015. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when Cam had his MVP, throwing it up to goddamn Greg Olsen and Funches and all that. Yep, Kelvin Benjamin.
No, Kelvin Benjamin tore his ACL like week 1 that year. That's why they were better. It was like Devin Funchess, Teddy Ginn Jr.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
Ted
better
Ginn Jr.
without-
Ted Ginn Jr. Yeah, he was a solid asset for my Saints a lot of years.
Man, shout out to Teddy, bro. He was in.
Yeah,
Teddy
was
Teddy is
great,
a-
man.
Teddy is a Super Bowl curse. I'm serious.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, he was the no call. He was on our team for the
He's
no
been
call.
there.
Ted Ginn Jr. was the motherfucker that caught the pass to set up the no call.
No call.
Yep.
Fuck,
man. I don't even want
I
to
think-
think about
I think
that.
he was
Greg,
in
what
it- he was
place
there
do you
with
in right
them.
now? What place do you in?
Let's see. Hold on.
He
Hey,
looked,
Huss, listen to this.
He's been in a couple Super Bowls and he's lost every one he was a part of.
Yeah, he is really a curse. And he should have been the one with the Saints, but again, just is cursed.
He cursed them.
He's
Line up
cursed.
with
He is cursed.
See, so the one with Jokic is in third. The other two that had Nurkic are in fifth. So
5th place, us.
Nice. Oh yeah.
yeah, and remember Seth Curry I said was going to do well, and then he was at 1% ownership that anybody played him, and he had
Wow.
what was it?
I remember you saying that on the show.
Yeah, but he had 80.44 after the multiplier.
Yeah.
But it's like every time he actually plays the point, like he has to be the point guard, he always does well. Like it's simple, but nobody plays him.
And you know what's tight about the NBA? They actually put out what they're gonna play, right? They're like, hey, here's
Kind
our
of.
starting lineup. But you could tell, like, if he because he doesn't normally play point, right? Is what
No,
you're
normally
saying?
he normally plays shooting guard, but normally plays the two.
so-
But Maxey
I'd
and-
imagine he was out. So
Yeah,
he's
but the 2
terrible.
point guards they have were both out, so it's like okay, he's gonna have to do it. So he's like, and out of like his ceiling games this year, he's maybe had like 8 out of his 10 have came when he's running the point.
Yes, so he's getting a ton of assistance playing QB basically,
Mhm.
or point guard. You could argue that's the QB.
He's
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to be his brother for a day.
Well, you're dishing when you're the point guard. You're dishing. You know what I mean?
You call the plays, you run the plays, you run the plays.
Exactly. You're basically the QB.
Point
And
man.
Doc Rivers loves him too because Seth Curry's actually his son-in-law.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He married his. Hold on. Are you serious?
Who was
Seth
the guy?
Curry. Yeah, Seth Curry married his Doc Rivers' daughter, and then Austin
Hey,
Rivers. And
where-
Seth,
Hold on. Rivers was our coach before
Yeah, but who was it before? It was someone else before, right?
for what?
for the
With,
Warriors. Talking about the
Seth-
coach.
76ers?
No, Doc Rivers with his daughter.
Oh, I don't know if somebody else was before, but
Damn,
but Seth-
Seth, his daughter.
Seth,
Oh Lord.
Seth Curry and Austin Rivers, his son, were both at Duke at the same time too.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, Seth Curry went to Duke. Man, he was fire with Duke.
Yeah, him and Austin
And
Rivers.
AD wasn't no AD went to Kentucky. Who else was with Duke that year? Was it I can't
You
remember.
know who went to Duke? Danny Pesos. He sucked.
Well, Duke sucks at football.
Yeah, I know.
Duke and football equals shit. So-
Yeah, Dave Gettleman, do better.
Yeah, fuck Dave. I mean, Joe Judge, like, I mean, that whole, are they gonna?
Hey, I like Joe Judge. He'll
fuck
fight
this
somebody.
shit up, man.
He'll
Yeah,
fight
Joe
Judge will
Judge.
fight. He'll fight his own coaches. He'll fight his players, man. Other than that, that's the only reason I like him. He sucks at everything else, man.
Oh yeah,
He'll throw down.
All right, how about this for y'all? Over under 6 coaches get fired on Black Monday.
I can see that. Over.
Let's count.
Why is it gotta be black,
Over.
bro?
Ooh.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'd say
One.
push.
You think 6 total?
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
think I can name 6.
I
Six
think
seems
that
low.
does that include just head coaches? You said
Head coaches.
coaches.
Yeah, head
Oh.
coaches.
well,
Chicago.
Zimmer and Nagy.
Zimmer and Nagy.
Fangio.
Fangio,
Fangio.
Fangio.
Matt
Poor guy.
Rule, Joe Judge.
Yeah, that's 5 already.
Matt Rule.
Yeah. Yo,
They
y'all
aren't gonna-
think Rule goes? I'm not sure.
No, they
I
ain't
don't
gonna fire.
think-
He
I
should
don't
be
think
fired,
Ja
but they
Rule
won't fire him.
goes. I don't think Ja Rule
You got to go
goes.
with the
I
half.
think-
Over
I
under
think Joe
5.5.
Judge goes. So I have
That's
4 so
4. That's
far.
4. Shit. Who
Let's
else?
go with the
Well,
over under
Dude,
5.5.
I'm gonna say Pete fucking Carroll.
Yeah,
Fire his
Pete,
ass.
Pete
Bam.
Carroll.
He's
Wait,
on
Pete Carroll. And what about Dan Campbell? I know it's 1 year, but man,
No.
Nah. No one.
okay,
you know
good.
why?
I was like, I
Nobody
don't-
else wants
one's
that
gonna
job.
take that job.
Yeah. You're right,
No
right.
one's
Yeah, I
gonna
was like,
take
I wouldn't
it.
want to. Same way with David Culley with Houston. They're not
Yeah,
going to
David
fire
Culley
David
for sure
Culley.
should be gone.
They're not going to fire him though, because no
No,
one's
for
going to
sure
want to
not.
take
No.
his
He's the
job.
fall man. He's the fall man.
I mean, you have Lovie Smith there too. If like 3-4 weeks in the year, they you know, fire him, and then Lovie Smith would be the interim. Like, you know what I mean?
Have you heard the rumor
Yeah,
though?
so probably under then. on
What's the rumor?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Purvis
so-
firing. He already got fired. So.
yeah.
So I am a Texans fan, first of all, but the rumor is they want to fire.
sorry.
That they might move on from Coley and then try to hire Josh McDaniels because of Caserio.
Wow.
But-
Because they're trying to continue being New England somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do with Bill O'Brien. Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
I think they learned their lesson from
Okay, Josh McDaniels, I've seen him turn down a job with Andrew Luck. So,
Yeah.
like, literally
And-
take the job and turn down. So, if
and he turned down
he's
Jalen
gonna
Hurts
want-
last year too.
It's
Well,
got to
he-
be.
he-
It's
He
got to
must be under Belichick's spell.
I don't think he's fucking with Deshaun Watson like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless he gets in there and they have a talk and they're like, yeah, we're going to do this thing. Because, and that would probably also indicate that no one would be giving them what they want Deshaun Watson for in the offseason. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be the big topic of conversation. Someone's going to want to trade for him. If they're going to be, you know, ask for too much and it don't happen, and they're like, because mind you, what's going to come first? A new hiring or the firing? I mean, the firing or the trade? Like, they're probably going to fire the coach and then bringing in the next head coach. That's going to be like, how are you going to take that job? You're going to be like, well, what are we doing with Watson? Are you guys moving him? Like, you know, it's a fuck situation. It would have to be Josh McDaniels because he has that relationship with, is it Siri? What's his name?
Caserio.
Caserio.
No, Caserio.
Yeah, Caserio. There you go.
Yeah, it's just crazy. How did he not want to work with Andrew Luck? Like, Andrew Luck's like the most
Belichick was
likable
probably
motherfucker.
Don't
Like, how
you
can you?
fucking go there? He did this
Yeah,
to
but
him.
he was
said-
under
he
Belichick's
said,
spell.
You don't
yeah.
want to take that job. He
Yeah.
used the
Oh,
force
yeah.
on him, bro. He's the demon. He's the dark emperor.
Right?
He's
He's whipped
the
under
Dark Lord of the
Belichick.
Sith,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know the Patriots have never since Belichick's been there, they never won a Super Bowl when Josh McDaniels wasn't on the staff?
Wow.
Yep, that's exactly
That's
why
right, because they didn't win it with Bill O'Brien.
Mhm.
That was one of the first ones they lost.
And
Yeah.
they won ones before McDaniels was a coordinator, but he's still on the staff at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, he's the secret weapon. He's the spy gate.
He's the something.
He's the Padawan, bruh.
Well, it just depends if you believe he's going to be the next coach after Bill's gone or if it's his kid, because there's rumors both ways.
Doesn't
Steve
he got two-
Belichick. Yeah,
The
the
mullet.
mullet. The mullet, man. Steve.
Hey, you know what though? Look at this too. I bet you Belichick will always remind him. He'll always be like, "Look at you thought you could make it on your own. You seen how it happened in Denver. Oh, you thought you were gonna do it with Tim Tebow. So you were like, hey, let's go get Cam Newton over here. We can do. I did it with Tebow. You didn't do it with Tebow. You didn't do it with Cam. What you gonna do over there? You got Davis Mills there now.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be
Yeah,
Belichick.
you know what I mean?
In his fucking
He's
ear,
just
yeah.
in his
Yeah,
head. He's like,
oh yeah, this
and he's
Andrew
like,
Luck guy.
he's like,
This
listen,
Andrew Luck guy. He's a flake.
know
He's
your
gonna
place.
retire in a few years. And then they'll be like, see,
He
I
probably
told you,
tells
Josh.
him-
I fucking told you to stay. Aren't you glad you stayed? I told
He
you.
probably
Andrew Luck was
tells
gonna
him, look.
retire.
he probably tells them, look, I'm not gonna be here for much longer. It's gonna be all you. And he doesn't realize that he's the Dark Emperor of the Lord, the Dark
Yeah,
Lord of
he's gonna
the
say,
Sith. And he's
sorry.
just gonna keep cloning himself and
Yeah.
he's transferring his essence.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, oh,
He'll be around forever.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, he'll be when he goes, he'll be like, oh, sorry, Josh, you should just stay as OC. I'm handing it over to my
I think
son,
Josh McDaniels,
Steven Belichick, and he will be.
it would have to be out of
boss for
conference.
you.
I think it would be out of conference. And I think I'm spitballing here. I like Josh. If Josh McDaniels is on the move, I like him to Chicago.
Ooh. What about Jim Harbaugh? He might be in the mix too if he's at the Michigan.
like Jim
leaving
Harbaugh. He's
Michigan.
raw.
True.
But Jim Harbaugh needs to be with kids, man.
They just gave him a lifetime contract in Michigan.
Yeah, they should. They should.
they
He
did?
a really-
No, they
he
just
hell of
did.
a job. He did a hell of a job.
Ooh.
He did a hell of a job
lifetime.
this year.
Okay, I'm my bad. I'm hella gullible right now.
But
Yeah, yeah, let's say
They signed his soul.
he said he sold his soul to the Wolves. He sold his soul. No, I'm saying I think Harbaugh might have some unfinished business in the NFL. I mean, he's
I think he will at some point.
Yeah, I think he got some unfinished business, and he might see like,
Hey, you know what's funny?
Justin
You know what's fucked up?
Fields or Trevor
Big
Lawrence.
bruh.
Like, let's
It
go win
had
a
to
ring.
be. Imagine how much low key he hates his brother. Like this motherfucker all my life. This motherfucker, older brother. Oh, why don't you be more like your brother John? Why don't you be more like John? You know what? Fuck John. Then he gets to the league and they're both coaching, and the motherfucker beats him in the Super Bowl. Fuck John Harbaugh, matter of fact.
He probably was
Jim.
loving it when they
Fuck their
crumbled
whole
down the
family,
stretch.
man.
He's like, yeah, fuck John. They missed the fucking playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, he always gets to cut the turkey on Thanksgiving. Fuck John. They always give it to him.
He got like Cain and Abel.
For real, huh? He's gonna kill him with a turkey carver. Watch.
Whoa.
He's gonna lose it one day.
Yeah, break the beer bottle. Fuck John.
I don't like that look at you, right, Jim?
You gotta watch Jim. That's what Jim's gonna fuck around. Yeah, Jim's gonna fuck around, come to the NFC and thinking he's gonna go to the NFC hoping to beat John in the Super Bowl. Get his vengeance. He's gonna go to the Bears over the Jags because the Bears are an NFC team.
Okay. Real quick, tight. I don't think we need to do tight ends because I like this. I like us just talking shit anyway. But I do want to say with tight ends, right? Tight ends is gonna be ugly next year. That's all I gotta say. It's always gonna be ugly.
Just like every year. Tight ends fucking suck.
Give me money. He's a stud. He'd be my overachiever.
Who?
Mark Andrews, man. He's just that dude. Like, he's taken over as the top overall tight end. He's done it with freaking Lamar, Tyler Huntley, and even Josh Johnson. Like, that dude could do it with any
Tyler Huntley, actually, his best games were with Tyler Huntley, right? Because he would just hype target him.
Yeah. Besides that Colts game that was on prime time, that was the best game of the year.
Well, because he needs 5 quarters, bro. They're like the Raiders. The Ravens were like the Raiders in fantasy. Like, you give them 5 quarters, bro, they're gonna put some numbers up.
Yeah, well, with Kelsey getting older and Kittle being injury prone, there's no other tight end I'd rather.
Or maybe blocking more with Lance. Like, that's the relationship that needs to like really be like bond. Like, their rapport needs to like in this next like 4 days somehow. You know what I mean?
They need to eat some breakfast together,
right? I want, because Kittle loved Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like, they were like boys and shit. Like, that's a real thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, because you know what's crazy? You know who he would be looking for? Lance. He's looking for goddamn Sherfield, because that's the guy on the team too. This is probably his man. You know what I mean? It's probably his man's and shit.
Yeah. And how about for the Cooch Master? Said, I was down 23 points last week with just the Dolphins defense to go on Monday night. Brought me to the championship. And then last night I was down by 30 and had Najee. Talk about Monday night miracles.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So he was lucky he didn't just fall down short of the goal line for that touchdown then, probably.
You know what's funny is
imagine losing like that.
In reality football. So how about this? Nick Chubb had a moment like that last season.
He stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, but to stop the clock so they can run the clock out at the 1. You know what I mean?
Because they could kneel it then.
Yeah, exactly. It was against the Houston Texans. You don't want to give the ball back to Deshaun. He was on fire that game. He did it right. We were pissed as Nick Chubb owners. But last Monday, Najee should have got down at one point and they could have just ended the game there, let the clock go out. He took it to the house. He was like, fuck that. I'm from Antioch, California, blood. Let's go. Give me the pay dirt in prime time. And we love him for that too. Some people hate him for it. Like, there's like he
wanted that fucking pay dirt. I could tell. He wanted the pay dirt.
A motherfucking fantasy running back like Najee Harris.
Oh, yeah, he knew he was bringing people fantasy championships.
And
he
taking
the
away
on his mind.
All at the same time with that run. He was getting people
He's
chips
a savage,
and taking them away.
All
at the same time. Like,
millions probably. It's
motherfuckers, crazy. I've never seen so many fantasy matchups or championships be decided on one play? Like people being down a margin,
Yeah.
and like a 30-point mark. Like, you know how many people has on Monday? Like, I need Najee. You guys
Crazy
put
amount.
up like 28, and like, yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, just get the volume. Like, it's crazy. And if he doesn't run that touchdown in there, you know what I mean? It's it's the difference between people.
Yeah, because the Monday night they were all like, "Oh, we need to get Ben this. Oh, Ben." And I was like, "Fuck Ben, man! I'm taking this shit in, baby. This is my buddy."
You know what, too? They were throwing it in the red zone more because they had few red zone trips, but they were throwing it more. He was like, "Fuck that! They ain't gonna give it to me down there. I'm just gonna run it from what was that? A 50-yarder, 37? How long was the run?
It was long.
Oh, it was like
It
a
was
30, 30-something, 33.
Yeah, it was like a 30-something yard. Yeah, he was like, "Listen, if I get them in the red, they ain't fucking with me." You know what I mean?
And Chris Kreider said, "Thank God I didn't have to rely on Chubb for that win. Instead, Adams put up 30. Hell yeah.
There you go. And Chubb just added to the lead on a Monday. Yeah, I had an Adams Rogers stack that guy, and I had an Adams Rogers Dylan stack. And I actually had Dylan in 3 out of the 5 Super Bowls I was in. So playing him was kind of.
How do you say his name?
Dylan. Stop whispering like you're like you're evil. When I'm streaming, I'm like, sit there. This guy for weeks he was telling us to start Dylan on all the wrong weeks. I was like, no, we're not doing that. And then like it was week 17 of the Super Bowl on Friday. I was like, JC Money, we're doing it. It's the AJ Dillon week. You know what I mean? I'm like, the weather is gonna be cold. And then the next day, Kirk Cousins gets COVID. I'm like, oh, we're playing AJ Dillon without a doubt now. You know what I mean? Because the game, they were gonna dominate time of possession. He only got something about like 60-something yards on the ground, but like and like 20 in the air,
two tutties,
two tugs, and it was the game script. Like
He always has like 70 yards rushing, but no touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was the one. Jesus Christ, money. You know what I mean?
And shout out to MJ23. He said, Hustler and JC Money and Scott all helped me win 5,000. I can help my family now. So thankful. It's been rough with my mom's out due to sickness.
Man, bro. First of all, thoughts and prayers out to your moms. And yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, that makes me feel really good hearing that we can help you. You know, we all have the same common denominator. We love this fantasy shit. We're all degenerates. But you know, our other common denominators, we all need money. You know what I mean?
I love getting money.
Yeah, man. So I love hearing that, man.
Hell yeah. Get some more this week.
Oh yeah.
And Cooch Master said, I still got this week. I can't believe I made it this far with Allen Robinson, Gus Edwards, and Russell Wilson.
Oh man, Robinson, that's one to throw on the underachieving wide receivers. Jeez, did he suck a fat one this year?
He might be the biggest underachieving wide receiver.
I don't think he registers.
So he was a wide receiver 83 in PPR so far this year. And he was drafted as a top 10, 12 wide receiver.
That's higher than I would have thought. That's for sure.
He had 2 games over 10 points this whole season.
Freaking dreadful.
Two games.
He was the false value in the 4th round. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he was the motherfucker. It's like
here.
you wish he'd get hurt or get COVID so you could just fucking drop him. He was so aggravating. It's like he was playing, but he was so bad. You wanted to just drop him, just drop him, just angry drop. You know, you bring that Bogard talks about an angry drop.
Yeah,
I wanted to
angry cutting.
drop him. Yeah, angry cutting.
God, I would have angry cut the fuck out of him. He was also like a landmine too. Like, yeah, cut. I seen him out there all day. Like after like week 6, he was out there on the waivers. I'm like, nah, I ain't even touching him.
I ain't even playing that game.
That was smart. Yeah,
for real. Like,
he was
he's
horrendous, man. He was literally just like he was a flat tire. Like he just a flat tire that could never get fixed, man. He just was just running on a flat the whole year. This is horrible, man. And it was his contract year too. That was really shocking about it. He was on a franchise tag.
They screwed him.
So,
they didn't want to.
Oh yeah, they fucking screwed him good.
So I got a conspiracy theory. What if he, because he didn't want to get tagged? What if he just is like, "Fuck you guys, I'm just not gonna try it this year"?
I like
can
it.
see
Maybe,
that.
yeah, maybe so. Maybe he figured, you know, in
Guarantee
teams,
money.
I wouldn't blame him, honestly, man. Fuck Nagy, fuck the Bears, man. They are
Fuck the
horrible.
Bears.
And that's not
Yeah,
even a
fuck
conspiracy
Ryan
theory.
Pace.
That's just like a pissed off employee who's like, "Fuck you guys."
Because he
Yeah,
didn't want it,
exactly.
like, because he wanted an extension. They dicked around for like a year and a half for this whole extension thing, and then they franchise tagged him last minute. He didn't want to sign it for the longest time either until like went right up against like the day before, and he's
Remember
just like,
his agent all season too would take to Twitter and start like explaining for Allen Wright, like, listen, we don't want this. Like he would always say things in using we. Yeah, we don't like what's going on. We this and that. You know what I mean? Like they were just making business decisions.
Yeah,
What-
it's probably
what
a
are the
business
stories?
decision. Shit the bed.
If you're in the fucking, if you're in the motherfucking meeting, right, with all the players or position groups or whatnot, right? He's in a meeting with the other receivers, and Mooney and all them, they're all chilling. He's on the side, just like, man, fuck everybody. I'm fucking, you know what I mean? Like he's probably like the worst. Justin Fields probably texts everybody, hey man, let's go throw the rock. You know what I mean? Let's build some rapport. He's like, man, fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Justin Fields probably thinking, man, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
but-
he's like, nah, man, it's not you, kid. It's the fucking, it's the organization.
Business,
You know what I mean? Like,
it's the fucking Bears.
yeah, it's the Bears. Like, hey, man, like when he leaves, he's probably gonna hug everyone goodbye and be like, listen, man, good luck to y'all. You know what I mean?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I like Darnell Mooney though. Like next year, like if you know what's crazy, I think Eric Bieniemy needs to start exploring some of these jobs before like he becomes one of those forgotten names. You know what I mean? I would love him to take that job with Chicago.
Minnesota.
Yeah, if they can't get Harbaugh, that'd probably
He
be
would
their
not
next
go to
choice.
Minnesota.
Why would it?
So-
What's the difference between Minnesota and
Okay,
Chicago?
how about this?
One's
Okay,
indoors and one outdoors.
I am a coach, and you're a
One has
Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook.
Sell me
Yeah,
on
but then
Minnesota.
it's like the
Justin
curse of
Jefferson.
Chiefs coordinators going to
their quarterback?
Chicago. Like, yeah, if I'm the enemy,
Yeah, they
I
wanna
wouldn't
hire
want to
another
go.
one.
I wouldn't want to follow Nagy. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd
I
rather
mean-
Minnesota.
If you're the owner, that would kind of be going down.
Thank
the
you,
same,
Spencer.
That would kind of be going down. Okay, you can't sell me on Minnesota. The defense needs a lot of work.
Yeah, what's wrong? I mean,
They've got so
a
much
lot of
talent. I
veterans-
mean, you've got Dalvin Cook
lot of
and
veterans,
Justin
too.
Jefferson.
you can't say that
Yeah, but who's
Kansas City's
throwing
defense
the
didn't need a lot of
ball?
work.
Who's throwing the ball? Is it Kirk Cousins still? He's going to be like $45 million next year. He's a franchise
Corky
tag.
Kirk. Corky Kirk.
You know what I mean?
One more
There's
year
gonna
with
be, there's
Kirk.
gonna be a lot of jobs open. I think Corky Kirk takes his efforts, to free agency again. You know what I mean?
Kellen
After
Mond.
next year.
Kellen
Mike Zimmer.
Mond.
Yeah,
Mike
that's
Zimmer.
next
says,
year.
I see it.
Well,
see,
Mike
but that's
Zimmer
what I'm
sees
saying,
him
though.
every day. Kellen Mond. Mike
That's
Zimmer
what I'm
sees
saying
him
though.
every
After
day.
next year, Kirk Cousins is a free agent. So if you're a head coach, you're going to a new spot. You know what I mean? I need some draw here. Like, you know what I mean? Like Zach Taylor, he knew like, fuck, if I don't do something, I'm about to lose my job. He probably still has a good chance of keeping that job next year because he's getting them to the dance, right? Right?
Yeah.
That would have been an ideal spot to open up. People would have loved to look at Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and all the motherfuckers. I think Chicago with a good defense and a motherfucking, some pieces on offense, but having the QB in place, new stadium on the way, I think that's a draw.
I wish Matt Corral didn't get hurt because I wish then Minnesota Vikings could have been drafting his ass.
They still
It's
might.
okay.
Corral's injury, I don't think was that bad. I still think Corral
Nah.
could be a first round pick.
Dude, him in Minnesota would be ridiculous. I think if
What
he
kind of
were-
injury did he have?
Kirk Cousins were to play here one more year and Corral was to sit
Yeah,
there.
Corral's
He's-
X-rays negative. Corral's fine. Corral's still going to be a first round.
He's
pick.
mobile enough to like avoid how bad the line is, and he's good enough at throwing the ball to be, to make Jefferson an elite, still be an elite,
Yeah,
wide
just an ankle sprain. They said just an ankle sprain, baby.
Yeah,
Big,
he's
fall
somebody that I
for
can see
Corral, man.
like drafting and him sitting behind Cousins for 1 year and him being really, really good in the NFL.
Okay, what
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of pick do you guys are you guys gonna have? 18.
No, it should be
Like-
less. than that.
Yeah, be higher
Probably
than
like
that.
14.
Probably 15.
Yeah,
14.
like 14. And I think that I don't think that I think it's gonna be probably one quarterback that goes in the first round.
Probably, yeah, two, probably Corral and
You guys
Pickett.
could have had
Kenny
Justin
Pickett.
Fields.
They'll both
Yeah,
go in the
maybe
first round.
Pickens.
And
Maybe
maybe the mobile guy from Liberty, Malik
God, no.
Willis.
You better hope
Malik
not.
Willis is really
Better hope
good,
not.
but I don't think he's gonna go first round. He looked really, really bad.
I
Like,
mean,
at the
why
end
would
of
they
the
do
year.
that when they had like a Kellen?
He'll be like a
Mond,
second end
you know
of the
what I mean?
second round. He should.
You already had a
Yeah,
guy who fits.
This is
that
a
mold.
really weak quarterback class. I just put it
Is
out there.
it?
This
I haven't
quarterback
looked
class
into
sucks
it, really.
ass. Yeah, it's bad because you gotta have the
I've looked into a
Corral
lot of the running
and
backs and
Pickett
receivers
will
more
probably
so.
be borderline first round. And then after that, you got Willis, Sam Howell, and
Yeah, Sam
a pile of
Howell.
shit. Like there's not much
Oh.
there.
Yeah. So if you want like a Malik Willis is like a Jalen Hurts.
He's worse than
what
Jalen
sucks
Hurts.
Is like, he just played with he played with shitty fucking players, man. Like that line was so fucking bad. He was always running.
Sounds like he'll be like a.
He always
second
running.
But if you actually like sit down and watch him, like I know his mechanics are better like this year than they were, but his mechanics still need a crap ton of work. And he's got a long windup when he goes to throw the ball too.
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing to have in your repertoire, a big windup.
Because he's like,
Yeah. That
I
motherfucker.
can't stand that shit. When you know who was like that early on, Josh Allen, he fixed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was.
mhm.
You know, Cam Newton was like that for a long time.
Fields is still like
Kaepernick,
that.
Fields, it's you know what it is? It's a lot of these mobile QBs now. To think about it, for some reason, right?
This last
Kaepernick had that forever, bro. Just you see it coming. He's just he's gonna throw it. Big ass wind up.
Boy, it's about to do the shot put.
Right. No, that's Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh, he's got
That's
the
horse miss.
Yeah, he
Look
he legit can't like lift his arm over his shoulder. He's just like throws from the shoulder.
it's like if a Velociraptor played quarterback.
Yeah, T-Rex
Oh,
throwing the ball. Ah.
I think the Velociraptor
Crazy.
had bigger arms.
He just wears these big ass pads. He's like, ah.
Hey,
It's
Phillip
crazy.
Rivers, bro. I say this all the time. Listen, he could have been like a quadruple gold medalist shot putter. He was in the wrong business.
Do you know Alabama was recruiting him out of high school to go play tight end?
Phillip
that's
Rivers,
Yeah.
he's gonna
funny.
block everyone like this. It's
that's horse miss.
It's Farfig Nugan.
That's oh yeah, he didn't cuss, so he don't.
All the non-cussed words.
Phillip Rivers.
He talking hella shit for not saying no bad words. He was talking hella shit.
Oh,
He is
man.
mad smart when it comes to like shit on the field, though. He's really
Last year was hilarious with no fans in the stands, and you could hear him. I remember Jonathan Taylor, Brez's rookie. It was like this is early on against Chicago, and it was a stretch run to the around the edge, and he fucking turned the corner on Roquan Smith, and he's like, "What number is Roquan? 40 something?
It's like 58, I think.
58?
58.
Oh yeah, 58. Okay, he's like, hey, 58, 58, hey, 58, hey, he turned the corner on you. No, I'm talking to you, 58. He turned the corner on you. And then he calls a timeout because he's about to delay a game. Because the clock's he's using this time to talk shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, he's the best mic'd up out of anybody. Him mic'd up is just like comedy gold. That's horse mess. Oh,
I bet you he yells like hell at the high school kids he coaches.
Oh, what? And he got 11 kids of his own to yell at.
I know he's got his own football team.
Right? Yeah.
He's like
starting lineup for
Phillip Rivers finds hella ways to be like not around his kids. Like, you know what? I'm gonna coach these kids. I got a coach now, bro. He's like, yeah, we got too many kids. That's gotta be that's a crazy. I mean, maybe it's not so much of a change, right? I'd imagine a lot of these players they be acting like kids too.
Oh, for sure.
Whining and complaining about shit.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt.
I mean, these motherfuckers look like monsters, right?
Yeah.
Crazy specimens, but they be like 21 years old and shit. You know what I mean?
We just saw a temper tantrum on the field live. We already saw
And
that.
he's like 30 something.
And he's like, Yeah.
Antonio Brown's old.
I mean, I know he's got some mental health issues, but
Am I
yeah,
older
that
than
was a
Antonio
legit
Brown?
grown
older
man
than
having a
Brown.
temper tantrum. No joke. That was a temper tantrum.
And if his argument, here's what's funny to me. Hold on, real quick. If his argument is that he wasn't hurt, that he was hurt, right? And they were trying to get him to go in the game. Why go into the end zone and do jumping jacks and be like, see, I'm okay? Like, that didn't make no sense to me.
He should have like army crawled to the locker room. That would have made it more legit.
Like, right? just under
Why
the
didn't
bench,
he, like,
pull
why
out
didn't
the
he touch
crutches.
him like any of
See, this motherfucker's had
Yeah,
got me
like-
on these crutches.
Yeah.
You know what though? I will say this.
Jets cheerleader. That's what he was doing. He wanted to audition to be a Jets cheerleader.
Wow,
Even better.
he went there and hands on. Hey, listen, man.
That's good. I like
took
that.
The cheerleaders pom. If he took the cheerleaders pom poms, that would have been epic.
Oh, well, yeah. Then do the.
And then, like, take. It was hella. It was hella. With the theatrics, bro. You know what I mean? He was hella with the theatrics.
Oh
bro.
yeah, and he
All
timed
my
it up,
clothes,
too.
my fucking everything, bro. Yeah, because they were on the other side of the field. So all right, so nobody's gonna accidentally tackle me or something.
Yeah,
he almost
timed
took
it
off
up,
his
yeah.
clothes too to let him know, like, listen, I'm in citizen mode now. So if I'm on the field, no one tried to tackle me.
He
wearing
did
the
too.
green
He
jersey.
wanted clout for his rap album. He wanted clout for his new album.
Not
He
just
did-
whack.
Yeah, I say yeah. All these players that claim to be rappers, it's always whack, like Left Belly, B-Boy. But he did that though to draw attention to
Lillard
it.
goes hard though. Lillard
Yeah,
goes
I like Lillard. Yeah,
What
Lillard.
about Melvin? Was it
Shaq went hard back in the days, bro. Shaq had bars.
Especially when he started out with that Kobe has my ass taste.
What was that one when he first went to Miami too? He had like some weird song for that.
I know he had a song about.
It's like bringing the
California.
diesel to like South Beach. Like he had like a whole song about it though.
Who was that defense player from the Chargers? Melvin.
Melvin Ingram.
Ingram.
Yeah, he's a rapper too.
Yeah, well, like they're a rapper.
Yeah.
Who's not a rapper? That's the better question. Peyton
Cousins.
Manning's gonna be a
We're
rapper.
talking about on Hard Knocks.
Kirk Cousins can't dance on beat.
Corky
So he's not
Kirk-
gonna rap either.
Corky
Not
Kirk,
gonna rap.
Corky Kirk's dropping an album. I heard.
Oh man.
The Corky Chronicles. Part
Yeah,
one.
Corky Kirk. Hey, so guys, I told y'all I could
Corky
rap.
Kirk.
I dropped an album. I told you.
I remember last year when the COVID shit debuted. I remember
Him and
they
Weird
had
Al.
Kirk Cousins.
Him and Weird Al album.
Yeah, weird Kirk. Weird
Weird
Kirk.
Instead of Weird Al, Weird Kirk.
Kirk and Weird Al.
Hey, listen, man, I'd buy it.
The
See, I'd
fucking
buy that
Fresh
before I
Prince.
buy Antonio Brown's. You know what?
Yeah,
Antonio
exactly.
Brown,
Yeah.
if
The
Antonio
fucking
Brown
Fresh
came
Prince of the
out,
Frozen Tundra.
if Antonio Brown was a rapper about 15 years ago, right? Let's say 15 years ago, and you know, you could buy physical copies of their shit, he would be a weed plate. You know what I mean? His albums, the CD case, I would break the weed up on. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. Like, that's what we used to call like whack ass. Like, you remember back in the days, you couldn't walk out of a liquor store or walk into a mall without a motherfucker on the side, like, hey, bro, my mixtape and this and that, right? You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
funny because, like, most of them motherfuckers would end up as weed plates. You know what I mean? Like, I'm breaking my weed up on your shit because that's what it's good for. You know what I mean?
It's nice and even because I'm never taking the CD out.
Yeah, exactly. It's still in the plastic or whatnot.
Cellophane.
No, I mean, I'm lying. I'd give them a chance. I would listen and I'd skim through it because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm an artist myself, so I would always, you know, I mean, someone hearing your shit. Here's the thing: is every time I'd meet someone, and I know this because this is how it was with me. When people would meet me, they would never think I was good. And I would play some shit, and they'd be like, "Who is this?" I'd be like, "It's me." Hey, no, it's not. You know what I mean? I used to get that all the time. So I would always, like, whenever somebody, like, if I see this little scrubby dude with his like his fake jewelry on and shit. He's trying to sell his fucking album and shit. And I'd be like, and I might come out the liquor store at $5 or something. Like, here, man, give me one for $5, and I'll check him out, man. And what's sad is like I'm already judging this motherfucker before I heard it though. He got the fake jewelry on. I'm like, this guy's whack. You know what I mean? He's outside the liquor store. He thinks he's gonna blow up like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm already judging him. It really got to be good. But I bet you if someone showed me like, hey, you ever heard of so-and-so? And they play and I'd be like, oh, this guy's tight. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny. Perception's a lot. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think we put a ball on this, right? We went to extendos, first show of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna do golf tomorrow. We're gonna talk some golf. So
At what time?
Yeah,
So,
let them know, JC Money.
So golf starts at I think it would be 11:40 your time on the West
Pacific
Coast.
time. Yep.
Yeah, it's because it's in Hawaii.
It's in Hawaii.
Tournament's in Hawaii.
Oh
So
yeah,
we're
so
gonna do it.
earlier than us.
So yeah, an hour before that, we're gonna do some content. An hour before that.
So hold on, what time?
So your time.
I know, but you're not telling us. You're telling the people.
Well, we're Central Time, so we're gonna be doing it at noon Central Time.
There it is.
There
So
we go. 1 p.m. Eastern.
there you go.
So yeah, so it'll be on Hustler.
Jesus Christ, money.
It'll be on Hustler's channel and it'll be on my channel, JC Money Design. We'll post it on Instagram or on Twitter. Coach Craig will throw it on Twitter.
Yep.
So it'll be up there. And we're still gonna be doing the basketball content too at the same time at 5 o'clock Central. So if anybody wants to get into any of the main slate, it'll be the cash games. So we'll still be doing the same thing just for basketball.
Cool.
Woo woo.
Yeah, David, lunchtime.
So tomorrow's basketball doesn't even start till 6:30. By the way,
It doesn't matter. Whenever you want to do it, I mean,
yep. I'm good whenever.
it'll be around that time, 5-ish.
Yeah, PGA stuff shouldn't take too long. Let's talk
No.
about a couple of guys real quick.
Oh,
And then we'll talk about how I wish I was golfing and it wasn't snowing.
You can go to Hawaii and golf.
See,
Yeah, I gotta
listen,
fly to
bruh,
Hawaii.
golfing in the snow, bruh, you lose the ball, bruh.
Not if you got a
What's
glow,
this?
then not if you got one that lights up.
Is it regulation? I don't know if those are regulation, bruh.
You're right. Mine somehow I got this like little thing and I can like direct it into the hole.
I don't know if that's a regulation ball, bruh. Guru, let them know,
Yo.
man. Let them know where they can find you, brother.
All right. Yeah, y'all can go check me out at Spencer the Guru on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever y'all may be, mainly on Instagram. But we're relaunching the podcast. Got some episodes recorded, about to drop those on YouTube. And y'all can also go check me out on bet.nola.com, where we've got live shows, articles, all that good stuff. So y'all go check it out, y'all. At Spencer the Guru. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, Coach, man. Love having you on. Glad you made your Real Fantasy Playmakers debut. Let them know where they can find you, and remind them again what you guys got coming tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're doing that PGA around noon. We're doing the NBA DFS around 5, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit later since it starts at 6 o'clock or 6:30. Excuse me. Find me on YouTube at Coach Craig Sports, on Patreon at Coach Craig Sports as well. Got a lot of different stuff there for mainly fantasy football stuff. And we're going to have a lot when draft comes around, a lot of draft prospects, grading, and notes on guys as well, since I watch pretty much everybody.
Yeah, Craig. It's
Craig's
funny
a
because
fucking man, dude.
there's so many times I had to stop myself from yelling, Craig, like it's Friday and shit. Because I never met a Craig.
Yeah, and that NBA line that we had rolling tonight, it looks like it got third in the elite. It got second in the pro, and would have got like fourth in the basic.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, baby.
So if you want to make some money tomorrow, just saying.
Roll with us. We got you.
And make sure you tune in to the end, not like me, so you get the full lineup.
Yeah, you gotta wait. So like we like to talk all the way up. We kind of set our lineup, 10 minutes before before a game time, but at least before the first game. So at least we know we're kind of at least set for the first games, and we're like, nothing. We don't run into any kind of crazy shit that happens. Last minute they take someone out, but you can always make some adjustments. We'll start posting some shit. So go follow me on Twitter at JC Money Design. Go follow Coach Craig on Twitter, and we're gonna start posting some things. We'll start posting, some of the guys, if there's any ins or outs, or if there's any random shit that happens, we'll start posting that shit so you guys can keep up with our lineups and we can adjust it accordingly. Because it's not like football, it's not like football. So I mean, you really gotta be on top of your shit with these lineups.
Oh yeah. For sure.
All right. And you guys already know where you can find me. Just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com. We got the NFL playoffs league. So go reserve your spot right now. Just go get signed up on Patreon. It's the top link on fantasyfootballhustler.com. $30 buy-ins. We got over 50 people in. Most of them are in more than one league. So guys, better make sure you get in right now, because a lot of these leagues are going to be starting to be plugged in as of tomorrow morning.
Fucking David, look at that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking crispy. Hell yeah, brother.
Oh yeah.
David's the man.
And you already know the earth is my turf. Universe, give me money. Excuse me.
Mushrooms give me money.
Good luck
Luigi.
to you. Yes, I am Luigi. And all these other ignorant things I like to yell out. Take us home.
Peace out.
With the run pass option, I run shit or I shred from the pocket. I'm always shopping, I'm always copping, and always pray I'm falling like leaves an item. Hey, what could I say? I make plays every day. Catch me with a thick one, make her pay what she weigh. And then some. Welcome to my kingdom. Really in the field, never got my feet up. Go hard, push a hard line. Yeah, been around, peep the archives. Yeah. Off top, it's a long grind. You don't need to watch to see that it's hard time, yeah. I'm counting chips, finna take the chip. You counterfeits, better pay attention. I'm about to check, catch me in my bag. Sunday to Sunday, we living that. We make plays every day, yeah.